I don't like that people say the B word and the C word.
What a bitch. By the way, that was the start of the stream. We are live. Restore defaults.
Not Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, no, he's not live now. So this will be a unique stream. We're going to possibly do it as the same stream, unless there's issues. But we're going to do a regular Halo stream, and then potentially transition to a shit show later on in the stream. And then we'll edit the shit show out into its own video. That way we don't have all the echoing and buzzing and just bad stuff that comes with the Halo streams, because Corbin's mic is garbage. Because he shoved his up his ass too much.
I need to get more coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay. Need to get more Kofifi? Wish Godzilla side was on here. I'd play that. Is that buzzing me in your back? I'll send you like 30 invites, then we'll know for sure. Did a single one of those even send? Did you get any of those invites, Corbin? I sent you like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I couldn't tell if you were back or not. I'm like, I'll send you like 30 invites, then we'll find out.
Have you seen? Isn't it weird? Isn't it a little funny how as soon as Elon Musk comes out as a Republican, all of a sudden people come out about sexual assault?
No, of course. It's convenient timing. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I love that though. That he's completely red-pilled me.
I don't know about completely, but he's definitely getting there. You're just too good to be true.
I mean,
Can't take your eyes off of
he
you.
hasn't stood down.
No, I like that.
He's still like defending himself. I like it.
I decided to do Halo 4 since you brought up your Halo 4 guy. Now I'll know for sure. You know, the best Halo.
I just mean he's like, I don't know if you've probably seen it. I don't think it's anything special, but I just thought it looked a little
You thought it looked a little bit like yeah. True in and out of shot pressure.
Yeah. I understand the English language very well.
You take English lessons from Joe Biden?
That's, I mean, he inspires everything in my life. What you got?
Oh, you got the Venator helmet, don't you? Yeah, I used to have that helmet.
But I think like I liked how like the white on the armor kind of to me looked like a spiral.
Ah, downward spiral.
Downward spiral.
Killing you in a roundabout way.
A runabout.
I'll be the roundabout. Da-da-da, make you out and out. I'll spend the day your way. I wish we were streaming when I kept sticking you with the grenades and you kept getting mad about it.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was annoying.
You know, another like besides leftist, you know, another group that I just don't try to appeal to at all anymore. I said, you know who else I don't try to appeal to at all anymore?
Who?
People who say, I don't like to talk about politics. I don't care. I don't care if people don't like talking about politics. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Because at this point, if you don't, you're just asking for whatever comes.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like, I don't know, it's like, people who are like in-betweeners or deny that one side's worse than another and stuff like that are like really, it's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. Well, and people who try to act like they're not political. Everyone is political.
Like, I actually agree with the person who's political that a lot of people on the left say.
Yeah, no, I mean, it like, look, that is one thing that, and especially, I mean, leftists have made it more so that way because they don't fucking stop making everything about politics, but they were right anyway to an extent. Like, look, as crazy as the left is, I fucking hate the left, obviously, but as crazy as they are, they're kind of right about that one.
Like, well, I think like the left had a bunch of good principles that they.
I think some of them did.
Horrible ways that
I think a lot of them didn't actually have those principles and were just using it as an excuse to push things further. I think most leftists that we used to think had principles were actually just using it as an excuse, kind of like Martin Luther King used civil rights to push socialism.
Like, yeah, now I know that there was always. The left was always kind of corrupted.
That people leftists that used to be good people. There used to be principled leftists. Now there's not.
Yeah. What I'm saying, like, there was still a lot of. I mean, like, well, it's more like I would say that the corruption kind of came from civil rights a little bit.
Well, the civil rights movement itself wasn't like
But also,
the civil rights that came from the civil rights movement was good, but everything else that was a byproduct of it was bad. Like ending segregation, that shit's good. You know, giving people more rights, good. Spreading communism, not so much.
Yeah, because it always had ties. With
Yeah, it did. And I agree with Liberty Prime that death is a preferable alternative to communism.
Yeah. That's a reason to keep playing Fallout 3.
I mean, you were gonna keep playing it anyway.
Also, to be one of the rich elites in Tenpenny Tower.
You seen the Godfather movies? Did you hear me, Corbin? I asked if you've seen the Godfather movies.
I don't really. I saw the first one, and I don't really remember it.
I've seen the first two so far, and I think two is better. Like, I liked one. Don't get me wrong, I really liked one, but I think two was a better movie overall.
I like the guy's downward spiral in Goodfellas.
I still need to see that one. I haven't seen Goodfellas yet.
Do I amuse you?
Yes, you amuse me. Is that a Joe Pesci quote from Goodfellas?
Yeah.
I figured, since isn't that also the movie was like, you think this is fucking funny?
my clown.
Tell me what I said that's funny.
That would be scary to have a friend like that who just like, as a joke, terrifies you. Gets like really mad.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, he's like trying to scare the guy.
Yeah, I need to see that movie.
Joke.
I'm almost done with Pokemon Crystal, though. I've got like a couple more towns to go before Kanto. So that's pretty cool. You know another reason I don't think I could ever monetize this YouTube channel? Because of all the copyright claims on it. Because I think if you have too many copyright claims, you can't monetize your channel. And I have a ton of copyright claims. Like, not strikes, mind you, but claims. Like, so they put ads on it.
Yeah.
Like, basically, about half of my Undertale streams, the soundtrack gets copyright claimed. That's why I always tell my friend that he was full of shit when he tried to tell me that Toby Fox doesn't care if he uses music. It's like, no, I get claimed at pretty much every Undertale video I do.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's Toby Fox or some other, like, person or group acting on behalf, or if it's, like, some other rights holders, point is, you get claimed using, like,
I honestly...
Go ahead.
I think creators should have complete control, but over what they make, but also they also do sign the deals.
Yeah.
To give it the rights away.
Well, I also just think people care too much about copyright. I think it gets blown out of proportion. But yeah, like, basically every boss battle theme from Undertale will get you copyright claimed. Same thing with Deltarune to an extent. It's okay, I
don't really...
Well, I don't either.
...about ever getting... I mean, I'm just saying I don't care about ever making money from...
From YouTube? Yeah, me either.
YouTube.
Well, that's why I don't care that there's claims on it, because it's whatever. The videos are still up, then it's fine, you know? Like, but if they strike it, that's when I have a problem. Because they want to put ads on it, I don't give a shit. But, like, if they,
You know...
if they block it worldwide, then I have a problem.
I think something I've found out, there's a lot of Ayn Rand's fans are conservative, not libertarian, which is kind of cool, which is cool.
Yeah, I think that's great, because, like...
That,
Well, because, like, I think it's funny that there's a lot of conservatives that, like, hate Ayn Rand. They think that she's, like, a psychopath and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I never, I feel like that's more from, like, Christian conservatives who don't get the whole selfishness thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I consider myself somewhere between conservative and libertarian, like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think I'm more libertarian than I am conservative, but I'm definitely more conservative than most libertarians.
That might... I don't know, I feel like I'm somewhere around between libertarian, neoconservative, that kind of area.
Yeah. Well, I assume you don't mean neocon like the way that they are with, like, fucking, like, the War Machine and stuff like that, right?
No, I mean, like, Rorschach.
Okay. So you're using it in that sense. Okay, I just want to be clear, because neoconservative has kind of other connotations nowadays.
I just mean, like, what it was back in the day. Good old-fashioned neoconservatism.
Yeah, that game, The Stanley Parable, was really fun.
Yeah, I just like, it's fun. I like making them mad.
Yeah, I've done every single ending except for one. And I might one day do that ending I haven't got, but it's a pain in the ass. Because do you know about the art ending? So you know the baby game, right? That he makes where you push the button?
Yeah, were you the baby?
Yeah, and he says that you really don't understand it unless you play it for 4 hours. That's how you get the art ending, is you have to play it for 4 hours. Not yet, that's the only ending I haven't got.
That sounds
Sounds awful, doesn't it?
I mean, watching a baby get burned like that many times.
No, but you have to not let him get burned. You have to save him for 4 hours. And then he brings out a puppy.
What?
Yeah, so then he brings out a puppy that's being lowered into a vat of acid, and you have to push that button too. And you have to like be quick to go back and forth between the two. Yeah, you actually have to spend 4 hours playing the game, and then the essence of divine art.
That makes me think of Turbo Turkey.
Yeah, Super Turbo Turkey Puncher 3.
I hate doing that. It's so boring.
But you got to do it to get the achievement for 1,000,000 points, right?
Yeah. Like you have to do it for like way longer than you should.
But I think one day I'll do a stream that's literally just that. There's also... I have all the achievements except for one on Stanley Parable. So...
You should do a Super Turbo Turkey Puncher game.
Yeah, there you go. Do a whole stream of that.
Yeah.
No, but like, the only achievement I don't have on Stanley Parable is the one for playing the game for 24 hours on a Tuesday.
You suck.
But I already have the 10-year achievement because I just fucked with the console's clock.
Do you know what specifically Elon Musk has said about Amber?
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh, I know that he originally defended her at the start. I know that he paid for some of her legal fees. And I know that he slept with her when she was with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of wary about some of things with him.
So maybe he's not.
Yeah.
Perfect. But I still
No, I do too. But like again, there was also that Dogecoin thing, which he just kind of like artificially got it so that Dogecoin was worth a bunch, and then he sold it so that it plummeted in value. Which again, I think you should be allowed to do that. I just think it's a little scummy.
I don't think he was. I don't know if he did. He was doing anything intentionally bad.
No, I think he was. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. Because at the start... So, let me say, I'm telling you what I think, right? Like, obviously, this is all opinion. I don't know what goes on in his head. But, when he started, like, so, he used to take Bitcoin for Tesla, right? And then, he bought a shitload of Dogecoin, and then he started accepting that for Tesla. But, when he started accepting that, he stopped accepting Bitcoin. So that Dogecoin would, like, start racing up and making more. Then, after he made a ton of money on Dogecoin, he sold it all and then stopped accepting it. So then Dogecoin plummeted again.
So do you think he was, like, making, like, a really cool...
I think he was manipulating the market to make profit.
How does that work?
Well, you buy it when it's not worth very much. You buy a ton of it, and then people see that you're buying it, and they're like, oh shit, it's worth something, because now that he's buying it, it's going up. And then he starts accepting it as currency at Tesla, and so it goes up even higher in value. And then he suddenly sells it all and stops accepting it, so then its value just hits the bottom again.
Huh. Well, I mean, he does know how to do that, like he's doing that with...
Yeah.
Twitter.
Well, that's my concern, is he just going to do that and then sell it off to the highest bidder, you know?
But like with Twitter, what he's doing makes sense, where he's showing that without him, it
Yeah, sure. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm not saying I know what he's going to do with Twitter, and I think that overall what he's doing right now appears to be very good. I just, I'm wary just because of some of the other stuff he's done in the past.
I don't hear you.
I said I'm not saying what he's doing isn't good. I'm just saying I am wary to trust just due to the past. You're cutting out. Fuck you. I'm not repeating myself a third time.
Well, now I hear you.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to repeat the third time. Yes, you did. Fuck you. Bitch.
What did I do?
You were born. Alright, time to get serious. I'ma kick your ass.
Also, Elon Musk is definitely, like, overall a big sin.
Oh, yeah. Like, look, I like the direction he's been going in, but, they have my criticisms.
Yeah, at the end of the day, though, it's like, these days it's hard to really find somebody you can agree with most.
Right, and it's fine if I don't agree with him on everything. I think overall what he's doing with Twitter is good.
Also, I think he's done good with technology, too, and he has done good for the environment.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if I care about that.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's done good.
Where are you hiding? Where you at, dog? Remember that Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode where
Really, I
Shake
don't
gets
care
the
about
giant
environment,
phone?
though, because the only reason I don't care about the environment is because I don't think it'll affect me. It will affect like my great.
I don't think. I think it's exaggerated.
Screw.
I think a lot of it's bullshit.
I don't think it. I think it. That's what I'm saying is that I think it happens at such a slow rate that it would only affect my great grandkids, and I don't care about them.
Well, that's not even what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to end the world like everyone thinks it does. Because I think I think.
I don't think it's gonna like end.
Well, look, I think that we have some impact on the environment, obviously. But I think people exaggerate the shit out of it.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't think that global warming is predominantly caused by us. I think it is mostly a natural phenomenon. Because here's the thing, we're technically just barely still coming out of an ice age.
Yeah, well, you know that there are benefits. I think that there are benefits to the. If I remember, there are benefits from mining coal to the.
Yeah.
And from like the smoke even from the smoke that comes from factories has some actual benefits. Like I know.
Oh, god damn it! I killed myself.
I'm not saying it's like only good for the environment, but I'm saying that there are things that does have benefits. I don't remember what they are though, so I'm not gonna sound smart on that.
Got him. I need to start winning like Charlie Sheen.
Duh, winning. You got tiger blood.
Have you seen that video of Mike Tyson beating up the guy on the plane?
The guy that totally...
Yes, I was about to say, yeah. The guy threw a fucking water bottle at him. How'd it go? Why would you fuck with Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Because, like, he was being chill with them at the start, but then when they threw that shit at him, that was, like, the thing that made him get pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, also, to answer your question about Chris Chan cutting his taint, I can't remember.
For pulling my arm with him.
I can't remember if I knew that or not.
Oh, hey. It's weird though, he like... Something about... his weird gender, whatever, you know. I don't think he was trying to do like a full transition. I don't think he would try that on to himself.
Yeah, like, he did it to himself, right? Like, it wasn't like he was going to get it done by someone else, right?
Yeah, like he was cutting himself, and then like he gave up.
That's disgusting.
But he like, he did it like deep, so
Ooh.
deeper than you think. Like right underneath his ball.
I mean, granted, like, those kind of, like, surgeries are already, like, crimes against nature. But that sounds like a step further, you know what I mean? Although, really, is it that much different?
No.
Yeah, see, you agree.
I like in Norm Macdonald where he makes a joke about O.J. Simpson and everybody starts booing and he goes, "Yeah, we all hate him."
I love that one he made about Bill Clinton, where he called him a murderer and then everyone, like, booed him and he's like, "What, the president's a murderer? You didn't know that? He killed a guy."
Yeah, with you. Yeah. And then he was banned from The View.
I love Norm Macdonald.
They banned him from The View for a long time, and then they brought him back, and he does like this fake apology on The View.
10 seconds remaining.
Like I like Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Though. He's really, and also Netflix is gonna put up the new. So there was a hidden Norm Macdonald movie. You've heard about that, right?
No.
No. So Netflix wasn't releasing a Norm Macdonald documentary. I mean, not documentary, a Norm Macdonald like stand-up, but it's not a stand-up. He's on a couch. But anyways, it was a thing that Netflix was going to release, but a bunch of people that work at Netflix who are woke wouldn't let it get released because it has jokes in it that go against woke stuff. So they wouldn't release it. Now Netflix is releasing it despite those people.
Yeah, that's good. Dude, so I was watching...
Plus, this was going to be the last... It's Norm Macdonald's last stand-up is what it is, and they were going to put it up just because the people were woke and didn't want it
Yeah.
to be put on Netflix and whatever.
I was, what was I going to say, though? Oh, yeah, I watched Forrest Gump on Netflix last night, right? And I think they removed a line from the movie.
What line?
So, you've seen Forrest Gump, right?
Yeah, I've seen Forrest Gump. I literally watched it today.
Okay, so you know the scene where Jenny, like, her dad gets, like, arrested for all the abuse?
Wait, I can't.
Okay, well, you know the scene where Jenny's dad gets arrested for the abuse?
Yes.
Okay, well, there's a, I remember there being a line where he said that he thought that her dad loved her because he was always kissing her and touching her and stuff.
Oh.
That wasn't in it when I was watching it on Netflix. He didn't say that. I'm like, I remember him saying that. He said that, right?
I think Forrest Gump. You're saying Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, they cut that line out.
Yeah, I think he said that. Huh.
Like, I don't know, maybe because it was like a joke about like pedophilia or something, but like I think they cut it out.
Mhm.
I finally set up my new phone. Oh, I died. Yeah.
Okay. I hate Jen.
Yeah, Jenny's a shit character. Like, she literally only comes back to him when it's convenient for her.
Yeah. Also, like all of her problems
Or self-inflicted.
are her fault.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the case with, like, all women, though?
But it's always like, they always say it's like because of some traumatic event, but I never understood like why you would let one traumatic event determine all of your actions for the rest
Yeah.
of your life.
It's an excuse. Like, you always gotta use that shit as a crutch. It's pathetic.
Because people think that if I've been disadvantaged, that means I have a right to be a terrible person.
Is that you shooting me, Corbin? No, it's not. Our team's trying to betray us, yeah.
Teammate shooting you? Betrayal.
If he successfully betrays us, I'm gonna kick him. But he's probably doing that thing I used to do with teammates I didn't like, where I would, like, shoot them until I provoked them, and then they kill me instead.
I literally, when I become leader now, if I'm like in like
A social server?
if I'm on like one of their servers, yeah. Whenever I become the leader, I literally become like the fun police, and I find anybody who's having too much fun, and I harass them until they attack me. Again.
No, that was fun. That when we took over that server.
Yeah.
We should have streamed that.
Yeah, that would have been good. Have we explained it?
No.
Should we explain it?
I don't care. We can if you want. Yeah, but when we get to the shit show segment, we definitely need to do it on a call so that we can actually hear each other clearly.
Yeah.
Because like I said, normal Halo stream, whatever, I don't care, you know? Oh, sorry, Corbin, I shot you there a couple of times.
I like how somehow we're the best players this time in our
Yeah.
team. Even though we're not good.
We don't have to be good, we just have to be better than them. To be the best players, I mean. We're gonna lose. Like, it's very clear we're gonna lose. Like, look at this, but... Yeah, dude, so our new neighbors at the house, like, fucking tried to call, like, animal control on our dogs for, like, barking. When our dogs don't even really bark, it was the neighbor dogs barking.
Too many explosions, sorry.
Well, I'm not repeating myself.
Something about a dog.
Okay, I'll repeat myself this once. No, our neighbor, like, tried to call, like, the fucking, like, animal control on our dogs because they said they were barking. Which they weren't. So now, since they were being cunts, now we gotta register our dogs with the city, which you're supposed to do anyway, but it's like, why isn't any of the city's business if we got dogs? Fuck them. But, like, our dogs don't really bark that much. The neighbor dogs bark a lot. But yeah, now, because we know who called, too. Because one of our other neighbors told us who called, because, you know, he's chill, and the one who called is a bitch. But, like, so whenever we drive by their house, Kyler, like, intentionally, like, obnoxiously revs up his truck now. Hey, Andy, how's it going? Yeah, our team sucked dick.
I was the best player.
Well, depending on how your kill-death ratio was, but yeah, I think you probably were. You had more kills at the very least.
I got 13 deaths. So yeah, I think I did the best.
So, -2 then, on your ratio? Let's see, how did I do? Oh, I can't pull it up anymore, never mind. I'll just say that you did the best, because it makes the most sense.
You died like 13 times too, or you died 15 times, I couldn't see which one was you.
Okay, so yeah, either way you did the best. Alright, what now? I disagree.
How can you disagree with that?
I just have to, as a matter of principle.
Well, I made a reasonable argument.
Make a compelling argument. You know, let's try competitive multiplayer and then hate ourselves because everyone's a tryhard. Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! Phil's from the skull, Jack's from the P.I. Horatio, the whole rat so big-eyed. Tito, Dick man, baby. He raised Phil and loves the ladies.
It's the nut
Well,
shack.
you missed part.
It's the
You
nut-
missed two lines, Corbin. It's Jack is cool as lazy. He's still learning #1 cherry pie. Still a virgin. Cheetah, meet the freak of the week. Phil's homegirl got Jack wanna keep her. But it's not happening neither. Shaking like a seizure. Hold up, let me spark this. Take a breather. Breathe a reefer in
I
my
know the
lungs.
Let go. It's the nut shack. It's the nut shack. Nut shack.
I bet you don't know how many times it says it's the nut shack in the song. I do.
3.
It says it 12 times before the rap. No, sorry. Yeah, it says it 12 times before the rap and 4 times after the rap. I also got some scam phone calls yesterday. Yeah, no, scammers are fucking scum. I need to do scam baiting again.
Yeah, it seems like you got planning to work with me.
Well, if they're calling me, I don't like it because then they know my real number. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can use the number that you see, right? Or can you not?
I mean, if I can't like call them back. I don't think because a lot of their spoof numbers are fake. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is might not be able to.
but I definitely should just start calling. Fuck you! This guy's shooting me. Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
Do it. My game's lagged. This is
Do it! Alright, he betrayed me. If he does it again, I'm booting him because it wouldn't let me this time. The guy that has all the W's in his name. Wait a minute, that's a modded gamer tag! That guy's a modder!
What? What does that mean?
It means he's modded the game using hacks, literally. Because, like, so first off, his service tag, that's fine. But, like, his gamer tag, rather. His gamer tag is a bunch of W's, but it's too many letters. It's too big of a gamer tag.
So does that mean he's a cheater?
Yes! I didn't know you wanted to make me to make it that simple.
Oh, I wanted to blow the guy up. He's not even a good cheater. He's losing.
Well, he probably just modded his gamer tag. That doesn't mean he has any other mods. To anyone who argues that I suck, I say they have not fucked enough women in their life. What are you talking about, Andy?
What? That sounded strange.
Like, who's saying you suck, Andy? Like, what are you on about?
Is it a comment you can't see?
I don't think so.
The best character in Forrest Gump is Lieutenant.
Oh yeah, I love Lieutenant Dan. I also think it's really funny that, like, when he's introduced, his biggest conversation is, like, talking about how you need to take care of your feet. And then he's the one who gets his legs blown off.
Yeah. I like, he has, like, a martyr complex where he's, like, his dad and his grandpa, and his great-grandpa died in American wars. And he wants to die too. Why is this teammate...
It's the hacker guy. Now,
I
yeah.
killed him. Screw that guy.
At least I think that's too many letters, because you're only supposed to get 16 letters in your name, and I think that's more than 16.
Do I get in trouble for killing somebody who's already killing teammates?
If you kill him too many times, yeah. You'll get booted. Like, he'll probably boot you.
That's probably why he's doing it.
Yeah. But the thing is, if he's the one who started the betraying, it takes more betrayals for him to be able to boot you. So, you'll probably be okay. We can both turn on him if you want. Have some fun with it. I think he's waiting to boot you. I think he has the option now. Because he's holding perfectly still, so I think he's waiting to click it.
Huh. It would be nice if my team wasn't against me.
Yeah, sure would, wouldn't it? me count those letters. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, never mind. He's not a hacker. He's just a shit player. And he's killing himself a bunch, too.
So he just...
Yeah, he's
sucks.
just bad.
He was literally shooting me on purpose, though, while I was looking at him.
Yeah, he did that to me a few times, too. And he killed me once or twice. He killed me once. If he'd have killed me twice, I probably would have been able to boot him.
I didn't even let him kill me. I killed him.
He's in cahoots with the enemy. You know, I actually did play against modders on Halo 3 once.
Sometimes I get upset because I know that, because I'll like attack somebody a bunch of times, and I definitely should have killed them, and then they'll kill me, and then I'll find them immediately, like I'll respawn right in their vicinity, and I'll continue shooting at them, and nothing happens.
Lame.
I don't know, like they should have like where their health should be lowering, but I think they just have it so.
Either that or it's what we call in the trade blood shots, which is one of the most annoying things to run into in these games. Blood shots are where the game doesn't recognize that you should have killed somebody. It's fucking annoying. Like, because you'll shoot them in the head, and they should have died, and you'll see the blood, but it doesn't kill them. That's why it's called a blood shot.
I don't know why my dad didn't let me play this game as a kid.
He didn't?
Yeah, my dad was like, no, you can't play Halo, it's too violent. I was like, really? Because it's like you're killing aliens, even in the online multiplayer, it's not like really like gore, there's not a lot of blood. You know my dad had Watership Down on VHS.
Hell yeah. And he let you watch that as a kid?
Yeah.
I'd argue that's more violent than Halo.
Yeah. My dad also had a Clock for Orange. He didn't let me watch.
I would hope not. If he's gonna, like, restrict Halo, he better restrict the Clockwork Orange.
I think, like, the first, like, horror movie he let me watch was Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I mean, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I love Watership Down. I think my dad has the book.
Oh,
too.
yeah?
I think I saw it in the attic. Along with like a bunch of Goosebumps books he never let me read for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. He let me watch the show. And like, what he didn't let me
To be
read.
fair, the books are slightly more graphic than the show, but even then, it's not really.
Yeah, he said like I got too many nightmares from.
Slayer.
He banned me from watching Goosebumps for a while because he said I got too many nightmares from it.
You know, what's it called? Like, One Day at Horrorland, in the book it literally ends with the family dying, but in the show they just kind of imply it.
That's awesome.
Because I don't know if you remember One Day at Horrorland, but that's the one where, you know, it ends with them on the cliff, and the game show host is like, now that's what I call a cliffhanger. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. But in the book, they literally just die. Like, they actually fall off the cliff, and it explicitly tells you that they die. Corbin, you are cruising for a bruising.
You're cruising for a losing.
Boy, am I glad that he's frozen in there, and we're out here, and he's in there, and we're out here, and I just remembered, we're out here. And he's frozen in there, and we're frozen out here, and he's the sheriff, and where's the caveman?
You killed me. In cold blood, no
Yes.
less. You killed me. In cold blood, no less.
Yes.
You almost killed me. In cold blood, no less. You killed me.
See what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps? This is what happens when you feed a stoner scrambled eggs.
Is he... I know he's in Roseanne, so is he conservative, John?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Because Roseanne...
Yeah.
That's why. That's why, like, they made her out to be a racist.
Well, yeah, that and, like, she made fun of this one actress by saying she looked like one of the ladies from Planet of the Apes. And,
Yeah.
like, and she did. She looked like one of the chicks from Planet of the Apes. But, like, the thing is Roseanne didn't even know that the chick was black because she was kind of light-skinned, you know? That's why there's that quote of Roseanne saying...
That wasn't the
yeah, and, like, there's the quote where Roseanne says, "I thought the bitch was white."
Killing spree.
She was crazy.
Yeah.
I like that corporations are finally realizing that the reason that they're not making money is because they're killing a small minority of the population.
Oh, yeah. I killed you in cold blood, no less.
I literally cruised for a bruising. I really like the story about the lady who sleeps with the lobster while burning its face with a lighter.
And then she, like, gives birth to a bunch of little lobsters in the toilet. Yeah, I remember that one.
That's a good
Lobster
story.
Girl.
Yeah.
I remember that one. That's like, it's not true, though. Obviously. But, like, people thought it was. Is the reason I mentioned it is because people thought it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, it's very obviously not, so I don't know why people would believe that.
Yeah.
Blowfly Girl, I think, was real, though.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if they found her dead, why would they know this real, like, whole story?
Yeah. But, like I said, I think Blowfly Girl was probably real.
That story.
Yes.
That's not even a story. That's just a blog.
It's disgusting.
Literally a blog from a psychopath. The degenerate scumbag. A waste of society.
I love that scene in Watchmen where Rorschach just completely ignores the hookers.
Yeah. I like that Rorschach is
Oh, yeah. No! You killed me in cold blood, no less. That should be a line in Sergeant Friends at some point.
Yeah.
By the way, you could tell that message I sent the other day was literally just me pushing the next word button, right? Like the auto-generated text again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did that though because like people were pointing out that Kamala Harris, whenever she does a speech, she sounds like she's just like it's written by doing that.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello. Howdy.
Howdy, this is Phantom Strider.
He makes the best.
I wanted to do another response to him, but I can't find another video that I care enough to respond to, you know what I mean? But
Is Andy Kisher in the...
Yeah, he is.
I want him to know that I watched the SpongeBob movie again. It's my favorite animated movie.
Well, there you go. At least I think he's still here. It says 0 watching, but he's been commenting for a little bit, so I think he's still here. If he's not, he'll hear it in the replay.
Where are you?
Does that answer your question?
The numbers of the Holocaust are great.
That is not true.
I mean, it's exaggerated by some people.
Well, like the people who say it didn't happen, yeah, those people are wrong.
Well, you know, some people say it was 7 billion, you know.
I think like 11 is like the most like, or no, or 6 is like the most like common, but I think 11 is pretty accurate too, like 11 million. Either way, it pales in comparison to how many people communism has killed.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, like, in Florida, they made November 7th Victims of Communism Day. Because Florida has a super based and red-pilled governor, and he's currently my favorite politician.
We need to make him a real nice, we need to make the big robot from Fallout.
Liberty Prime.
Yeah. That is name. I've played Fallout 3 like a million.
And I know his name, and I've never even beat the damn game.
See right there. Oh.
Son of a beach.
I like how the planet we're on is just a giant ring.
He had a ring around his head. Looked like some kind of halo. You ever seen that video, the fake Halo Reach trailer? I'm gonna have to show it to you now, Corbin. It's so funny. It's one of my favorite, like, classic YouTube videos, because it was made when Halo Reach was, like, first announced, and it's, like, a fake trailer, like, but, like, they didn't tell you it was fake, so, like, the name of the trailer, like, the name of the video is, Halo Reach trailer with actual gameplay footage, exclusive, or some shit like that. Rocket Hog burning up his gears down here alone. Where you at, Corbin?
I killed myself.
Haha. And also the game.
I can't respond. I killed
It's
myself.
true. You know, except for the response you just gave, but let's pretend that didn't happen. Let's keep this just between us girls. That's something my woodshop teacher said to me once. And not for like a weird reason. It's because he like helped me on my, like one of my projects, and like he's not supposed to do that.
I saw a guy argue on Facebook how the Barbie girl song is actually feminist.
What? No. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, made from plastic It's fantastic.
Totally
You
like the
can do my hair, undress me anywhere. Imagination, something, something, something.
But he said that that's actually supposed to be what relationships are like. It's one in the song, which I can actually.
Yeah, but it's not feminist.
Yeah.
It's a very, like, male-oriented relationship, which is nature, you know what I mean? Like, we each had, like... That's the thing I hate about people who still try to be chivalrous. Because, like... I think chivalry was admirable when women followed their roles, too. But men who try to uphold classic gender roles, like, of chivalry and, like, being, like, a gentleman... usually come off as, like, simps nowadays because modern women don't deserve it because they gave up their roles and expect us to keep ours.
I was literally in an argument where, like, it's stupid that Jordan Peterson, have you seen what he's in trouble for now?
The thing where he, like, commented about the fat chick on the Sports Illustrated?
Yeah. Where he said fat's not
Yeah.
beautiful. Like, that's just, like, blatantly, that's just true. Like, that's
Yeah.
true. He shouldn't get in trouble for saying that people are ugly because they are.
Dude, so, like, all around town, there's these fucking billboards for Weight Watchers. Which is, like, a weight loss organization, if you don't know. But it has this really ugly, like, chick who... So, like, there's all these billboards for Weight Watchers, which is a weight loss thing, right? And they have this big fat chick that looks like a meatball on them. And it says, replace judgment with compassion. It's like, no, fuck you. You make me want to hurt fat people.
You know what I think? Is stupid that I see. Dang it! Wait a second. Like, it is stupid to have fat women on magazines, though, because it's supposed to encourage what women should
Yeah.
look like. Women should.
Yeah, well, no one should be fat. Like, I mean, hey, I'm pretty chubby myself. I'll accept that. I know I am. But I'm not going to pretend it's healthy.
Yeah, it's not like people making magazines, though, of, like, fat men, fat, bald, hairy men, and saying, like, this is what beauty
Right.
looks like.
Well, and it's funny, because, like, chicks will be like, oh, it's an unrealistic standard and it degrades women, right? But then, like, when you see a guy who sees, like, a big, buff, ripped guy, they don't think, oh, this is degrading. They think, I want to be that. And, like, so then they're like, let's go to the gym. You know what I mean? Like manly anime, for instance, gets men pumped up to want to go work out and shit.
I don't like when people say, like, this person has an anime profile picture, so they can't have an opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not into horror video games either. I'm starting to see why I never played any of the Resident Evil video games. I have never said I don't like horror games, Andy. What are you talking about? Yeah, me too. I don't like modern horror games like Five Nights at Freddy's and, like, Emily Wants to Play and Slender and, like, everything that's the same, or Poppy Playtime, but I like horror games. Like, Doom 3 is great. Fear is great.
Yeah.
Silent Hill. Oh yeah, Silent Hill, Resident Evil 4 is great. I love Resident Evil 4. Like, I'd say that's more of like a cheesy action movie than horror, but it's still great. And like I really liked
My favorite Resident Evil is 2.
Yeah. I like Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, obviously, so it's like, no, I like horror games.
Yeah.
I think modern horror games are all the same, though. Like the ones...
I like how SpongeBob has, like, a lot of freaking...
Yeah.
SpongeBob movie has, like, freaking...
Yeah? Like the Cyclops?
I like how, like, they go... Yeah. like in the deep sea, and you see all like the monsters.
Oh yeah, no, I love that scene. Yeah, my favorite episode of SpongeBob is Midlife Crustacean, the one where Mr. Krabs feels old and then he goes and hangs out with SpongeBob and they do the panty raid. But my second favorite episode, yeah, it is. But my second favorite episode is the one where they think they killed the health inspector and try to cover up the murder.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, it's great. Nasty Patty.
Yeah. I love it, but they actually...
It's so dark.
Try to bury it.
Like, it's like the darkest SpongeBob episode.
An episode of Happy Tree. It actually reminds me of an episode of Happy Tree.
Yeah.
For some reason, it makes me think of the episode where he has like the bag. And he thinks it's like his
I love that episode though because the kid doesn't die and like they trick you.
Yeah.
Because like Happy Tree Friends gets kind of stale pretty quick because it's all kind of the same. But like when they do shit that you don't expect, those are the episodes I like.
Yeah. The first episode I saw was that amusement park episode. And I saw it when I was like 8,
Killing
and I actually thought Happy Tree Friends was a good show. Like I actually like went in, I saw it on Netflix and actually thought it was a kid's show, but I thought it was rated M and I thought it was a mistake and I was like, why is this rated M?
Oh yeah, no, Happy Tree Friends is super fun. Like I also do like how creative some of the deaths are. But the thing is the show gets old pretty quick. Like you're watching it and it's like, oh look, they're just gonna die a bunch. That's it.
I miss that overly violent entertainment.
Yeah, me too. Well, I miss when the internet, when nobody gave a shit about copyright. So like you'd have like the video game Frank's Adventure on Newgrounds. Like it has a bunch of music that they very clearly did not get the license for. Like it has like Rob Zombie and shit in it. But it's also got like a bunch of characters in it that like they clearly don't have the rights to. Like it's got like Brian from Family Guy and Wario and Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I wish the internet stayed free from all that.
Yeah, I miss the old Wild West days of the internet.
It disappeared just all out of nowhere though. Because I mean, like with Filthy Frank and IDubbbz, like it happened like right after that, like the Monkey Jones.
It's because everything started going woke.
Right after that.
Edgy shit was great.
It's weird. It happened suddenly. Like everybody all of a sudden went from thinking one way to thinking another. Like everybody went from being like for like free speech and pushing boundaries, and now all of a sudden everybody's like the opposite.
Yeah.
But now I think it's coming back, and we're gonna have another, like, I think offensiveness is gonna become cool again.
No, I think so. It's currently the counterculture again, so you know.
I think what we need is a lot more people like Elon Musk who don't who just keep pushing that boundary.
Yeah.
No matter what. Because that's something I actually like, is that like even after like the allegations, he's still pushing.
Good.
I can't believe people fall for that stupid stuff.
Well, I think it's starting to turn around, like, publicly, because, like, the Johnny Depp trial, basically everyone is on Johnny Depp's side.
They're still those idiots that are like, Johnny Depp's just as bad as Amber Heard.
Johnny Depp has his problems, but he's not as bad as Amber Heard.
Yeah, I don't think he's even close.
No.
Like at most, he's just like when he gets high, he just smashes up some cabinets and falls asleep. Like, what's the big deal? I don't care about Johnny Depp's cabinets, and I don't care that he takes naps.
I don't care that he did drugs, either.
Yeah. It's not my business. The only thing that matters is whether or not he abused Amber Heard, which no evidence supports.
And the evidence actually supports that she abused him. Like,
Yeah.
dude, she cut off his fucking finger.
Yeah.
What a crazy bitch.
And pooped in his bed. I'd be more... I mean, like, if I was gonna sleep in the bed again, I'd be upset, but I think he wasn't even gonna sleep in the bed again, so it doesn't even matter. But... I think it's cool though that people would finally snap it back at Alec. Because see, the Elon Musk thing, I think is another good thing. 'Cause it's going to be another thing that exposes how women lie. Because I think Elon Musk's going to keep fighting it until he wins.
Yeah, probably.
Because I honestly think it's persistence. I think if you keep in long enough, you'll succeed.
Yeah.
And I think the left is the ones that are weaker and will inevitably lose.
I hope so.
I mean, the side that literally, like, wants to be, like, the overly... Like, I think it's just common sense that the overly feminine side that tries to make people weaker by giving them, like, by making them masturbate and take drugs all the time and take hormones to make them weaker. Like, then I can't see that them being that hard to... I can see that being hard to defeat. Like, I mean, in comparison to, like, the group that actually encourages masculinity.
Yeah.
And...
One of the biggest problems in our society is that men have too low a testosterone and are feminine.
That's something I actually disagree with, like, the Daily Wire guys on, is that they say that the left is an attack on women.
And I think it's an attack on men.
Yeah.
Well, as I've said, I think masculinity is one of the most important things.
Because they say that the left uses femininity for men. Like, I understand what they're saying, but I disagree because it's like, it's specifically targeting men, not women.
Yeah.
And they'll
I mean, they do target women too. Don't get me wrong. Like, they target both in different ways.
Yeah.
Because, like, the way they are attacking women is, you know, they're letting men into women's sports and all that. And, like, women's prisons and women's, bathrooms.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're doing it because they want to be
Yeah.
women. That's what
Well, no, but I think a lot of people do just use that as an excuse to go in there and, like, sexually assault people.
I think a lot of men who become gay or transgender just become that way because they realize that's the only way that they can, you know, be born straight white men and not be hated by the left.
There you go. It's trendy.
Because you have to be like... Because the only way you can be like a... to have been born a white man and for the left to really accept you is to become transgender or gay, I think.
Yeah.
You have to give in entirely or they'll be...
Well, I mean, suck the dick, bigot, am I right? Well, the fact that they try to redefine straight and gay to, like, mean, like, what you identify as, it's complete nonsense to me. Because, first off, they say gender and sex are different, which is already nonsense. But then, even going on their own logic, assuming that they are different, sexuality is based on biological sex, then. Because it's sexuality, not genderuality. It's what you're attracted to. Physically.
Yeah.
That's why I was like really disappointed when Hot Diggity Demon appeared in that video about Super Straight, saying that it was like transphobic.
Yeah. Because, I mean, at that point, you have to just say that being straight is wrong.
Yeah, because, well, the whole super straight idea is like saying you're super straight to differentiate from people who are attracted to trannies, because super straight people aren't.
Yeah. Like, if you can't be super straight, that means that to be like a lefty, you literally have to be gay.
Well, he said that it's okay to not be attracted to trannies, but it's like... But, like, it's, like, rude to say you're super straight, because it's, like, shoving it in their face and saying that, like, you're excluded. But it's like, yeah, that's the whole point of sexuality. Is to exclude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if a chick...
I think it's weird that anybody can even... Like, I think it's all like a poster where everybody was upset about like the Jordan Peterson, what he said or whatever on a Facebook post. But it was literally on like The Simpsons. It's weird. Like it's a Simpsons fan group and they're talking about Jordan Peterson. But they were talking about the whole thing and everybody was just outing themselves as having sex with fat women. And I just thought it was funny.
Tough luck. Catch. On. Round starts.
Jolton.
I don't mean to frighten you, but I think those are aliens.
Those are aliens! Police, do something!
You can tell they're aliens because of all their teepees.
Look at all these teepees. He's right, they got teepees.
Flew into the air.
And it'll go burn in the fire.
Do you think a Duke Nukem Halo crossover would be good?
If it was made with the actual like it actually was like accurate to Duke Nukem, sure. But I feel like if they did Duke Nukem now, you'd want to make sure someone who's like super like someone who's anti-woke would need to be in charge, obviously, for Duke Nukem to work now. Because Duke Nukem is like the antithesis of woke. Like the game, women are trophies in that game. They absolutely are.
Yeah.
But God, do I love that game.
I think it's funny though that feminists are angry about the game where the prize is women.
Right?
Like I think that's funny that feminists are offended by being worshipped.
Oh yeah. Well, they're offended by being complimented and told to smile too. They act like it's like the worst thing you can do to someone.
Yeah. I don't know why they enjoy being angry about everything.
Reinforcements.
Oh shit, that elite has a sword! Okay, cool. I killed him. I haven't died yet.
Me neither.
This is going very well.
I think I'm about to die. Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good.
Yeah, this is a really good round.
Double kill. Reinforcements.
Now you died.
Covered myself up. I'm dead.
You said blew yourself.
That is funny.
Double kill.
I like the grunts they make sometimes.
Yeah, elites are fun. I'm glad they added them into ODST on Master Chief Collection, because, you know, elites weren't originally in ODST, they got added in later.
Double kill.
If you were kind to somebody and they died
Reinforcements.
because you killed them with kindness, should you be jailed and persecuted for your...
Define killed them with kindness. Like, literally being kind killed them?
Stab them with a kindness?
Oh, okay, well then yes, you should be prosecuted if you stab them with a kindness knife, yes. Like, if they just die because you're so nice by, like, a heart attack or something, then no, obviously not. But, like, if you literally kill them and say, no, I'm killing them with kindness. This knife's name is kindness.
I want to do that.
Well, if you remember, we were...
A gun, like he'll have, like, somebody gets shot with a gun that has, like, kindness written on it.
Yeah. We could probably do it in that same episode where, like, Seth Rogen says they're using their sexuality as a weapon, and then they get beat by actual weapons. And, like, one of the guys with weapons, who's on the good guy team and not on the fucking faggy loser team, is like, oh, don't worry, you guys, I'll kill you with kindness. This is kindness.
Yeah.
Two enemies remaining. One down. Weapon brought.
Jimmy, stop playing with those banjos.
Who the fuck is Jimmy?
Playing those banjos.
Well, good thing you told him to stop.
Yeah, he did. He listened to me. Good boy, Jimmy.
Good soy, bud. Good soy.
I remember, like, he starts, like, trying to take his belt off and his pants fall down. He's, like, shaking his legs to get his pants back on.
Yeah.
Crying. What a man.
He's one of my favorite characters in just in general.
I like that he says, he always says, thinking dead on job and job is doing.
Yeah.
Double kill.
I showed it to my friend recently, and I kept telling him, just wait till you see what Clay's job is, and he kept trying to guess. And then when we got to nesting, right, and, like, Oral goes into the mayor's office, and he sees Clay, he didn't see it coming, and I'm like, you didn't see that coming, huh? Like, I mean, to be fair, he had no reason to, other than I told him he wouldn't be able to guess Clay's job.
Yeah.
I love that scene, though, when Oral just finds out his dad's been the mayor the whole time.
I like the part where they look and they look down this hallway and there's all these guns and he goes, I never noticed that before. He goes, yeah, it kind of just blends in with the woodwork.
I want to study like that. I want a room just like that. Like, I think it'd be the coolest room to have in your house. Like, has all those guns, but it's also got that kick-ass chair. And,
Yeah.
like, I legit would love to have, like, a recreation of Clay's study in my house.
I actually would. I just like that one. I like that aspect of it. I like his lifestyle of just sitting around in a robe with slippers and smoking
Yeah.
a pipe and being alone.
Yeah.
I like that part where he's like, you realize the more important things in life by like being left alone. I actually agree with that. When get in the way of the important aspects of life. I like how he's like actually right about women, because like a woman did cause a lot of
Yeah, like,
problems.
basically most of Clay's problems started because of the women in his life. Like, granted, I'm not going to take away his personal choice. Clay still made all those mistakes.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, again, the women have been women have been playing that role as life
Yeah.
style too. Though.
ooh, I'm getting very close to death. I do not want to die, because I haven't died yet. Oh,
I
no!
don't want to die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born.
I died. We've both died once now, right?
I thought you were a gamer.
I only play mobile games. Queen, I thought you were a gamer! Yeah, dude, like, Birdley is my favorite character in Deltarune. I love him. And he's my favorite voice to do.
Going with some Invisiboys.
Like, Birdley's voice is, like, the most fun I have doing a voice. You've died twice now.
I also like your eagle synth voice.
You're the one that sounds like Peter Lorre?
Sounds like Peter
Yeah.
Lorre. Yeah. Peter Lorre's my favorite comic. Also, literally, Peter Lorre plays like lots of Sims. And, like,
Does he really?
that he listens to. Yeah, he's like obsessive, creepy stalker Sim.
That's great. That's perfect. I'm glad that worked out so well then. Of course, my queen. I would buy you 10! You can crush my balls later as penance.
It's a missed opportunity that Peter Lorre never played.
Yeah.
He was literally like born with the role.
We did pretty good that game. Alright, what now, Corbin? You want to keep doing Halo, or do we want to switch over to the shit show segment?
Yeah, sure.
That doesn't answer my question.
I
I said, do you want to do this or this? And you said yes.
Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
You're not the boss of me now, and you're not so big.
I'm going on Facebook.
Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to go heat something up because I'm hungry. I will be right back. I'm going to throw the Tito Dickman up on the screen. And you know what? Even though I'll only be gone for a second, for old time's sake, we'll actually go the full 10 yards.
Okay, but let's keep this up so I know when you're back so I can...
Yeah, for sure. But go the whole route. And that is the essence of divine art. I'm back, Corbin, in case you couldn't tell. I am back. Alright, well, I have Facebook up, so feel free to call whenever, and we'll do this proper.
You're back, I am Leg, and we're on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it isn't my old friend Mr. McCraig, with a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg. Oh, hang on. Some faggot's calling me. Can you hear me, Corbin, through the computer? Can you hear me?
It'd be funny if, since you insulted me, as soon as you answer it, you go, "Oh, hey, buddy."
That was really, that clipped a lot, that audio. I'm going to turn you down a little bit. All right,
I was just saying, since you made fun of me before calling me, it'd be funny if you answered and said, "Hey, what's up, buddy?"
Oh, yeah, no, that would have been funny. Like that Michael Scott thing. All right, buddy, I've got to go. Someone just came in. Like when he left the message for Jam.
Yeah.
All right. So do we want to have what do we want to have up for visuals for the shit show?
A mosquito, my libido.
Right now, I've just got up Tito Dickman Baby still.
Kurt Cobain with a hole in his brain.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know who Kurt Cobain is, but I do have our original character Burt Cocaine in said position.
Oh yeah, let's put him up instead. I don't know what I was thinking. Some weird musician from Seattle.
I don't know. Should I just like throw up a game or something while we're talking? Like just throw up like one of those things that can make play itself or something maybe.
Sure.
What do I have that can play itself? By the way, should I do the start of the shit show? Like I'll do the proper intro, I guess, right?
Sure.
Okay, let's see. Gotta find a game I can do like CPU only battles, but
I need to get more coffee again real quick.
okay. Visuals. What shall I put up? And no, that has copyrighted music. Let's not do that. And I guess I could mute it, but all right, let's see. Add a new one. Do this real quick. There we go. And we'll add another image of, let's see. Corbin.png. That's got to be a good one, right? Yeah, there we go. There we go. There's the visuals. Now I'm just waiting for Corbin to get back, and we will start the shit show. Now I'm just waiting for Corbin to get... Cool. Audio's good. Just want to make sure. Alright, you ready, Corbin?
Angelo Hernandez.
Oh, well, you ready?
don't want the public knowing that your name is actually Angelo Hernandez.
Hernandez. It's pronounced, No, it's pronounced throat wobbler mangrove. Alright, we ready to...
mistake.
Alright, we ready to actually start the shit show?
Yeah.
Alright. It's the Team Red Eye Shit Show, starring me, and also Corbin. And R2-D2 is R2-D2. You know, same joke I've made like 30 times. But today's going to be probably our most controversial shit show, I would imagine. Would you agree with that statement, Corbin?
Probably.
Yeah.
I literally ruined my relationship with my family over one of the subjects.
Really? Alright, well, we'll get into that, won't we?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, this is the Team Red Eye Shit Show. It's the first episode we're doing live, so if you want to participate in chat, you are welcome to. But it is going to get spicy, so just a warning. Do we want to start with the heroes thing, or do we want to start with something else?
Do we want to start with what?
The false heroes, which is one of our topics today, or do we want to start with abortion, or do we want to start with something else?
Which false hero would you want to start with?
Let's start with Anne Sullivan, since you've done a video on her before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Anne Sullivan, bullshit. Total piece of shit person. Helen Keller, complete fabrication.
Yeah.
It was basically a socialist bitch pretending she could talk to a blind and deaf girl to spread socialism. And conveniently, the books Helen Keller was supposedly writing were written in the exact same way Anne Sullivan wrote. And conveniently, she stopped writing coincidentally after Anne Sullivan died.
Yeah. It's one of those, it literally doesn't make sense. Like the idea that somebody who's been blind and deaf since they were a baby, the ability that it would be impossible for them to understand politics. It would be impossible.
Yeah,
There's no way they could possibly understand.
Makes no fucking sense. And like you did the video on it before it was cool. Now Crowder's been calling it out, and a few other people have, which is great. But you did it before it was cool.
Mhm. I have my finger on the pulse.
Oh yeah, Corbin is a master of current events. I mean, it's not really current events because it was like forever ago, but still.
I thought it was stupid when I learned about it in school because it just didn't make sense. How could a person who is blind and deaf since they were a baby be able to do any of the things they say that she did?
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I always thought it was dumb.
They say like the way that she taught her was that she put her hand on she put Helen Keller's hand on Anne Sullivan's mouth, taught her how to move her mouth and like use the vocals on her throat or whatever, but that's never worked for any other person who's been blind and deaf since they were a baby ever in the history of ever.
Yeah.
It never happened to anyone else.
Should I mention the other thing we said about Helen Keller, that like when we were speculating things that might have actually happened?
You want to?
So my theory is that Anne Sullivan was probably abusive as fuck to Helen Keller, probably both sexually and physically, because she probably got some sort of sick power trip out of it, because she was using her as a meat puppet to get her message across. So I think she probably had all sorts of horrible things done to her by Anne Sullivan, and no one would know because what's she gonna do? Tell someone?
Also, I think it's just believable because even back then there was like all the weird sexual ties between like involved in leftism. I think.
Yeah.
Like there was still like that weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like they want to like cross every sexual boundary.
Yeah. Well, as I've said, progressivism is literally just trying to change norms because there are norms and no other reason than that, which I think is
To
just
make the
stupid.
good bad and the bad good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, for the visuals, I went with your picture you drew of me and my picture that I drew for your channel icon, the Cthulhu thing.
Oh, well, at least if it's like that, it's me and you talking to each other.
Yeah, that's the... But I put it over the We'll Be Right Back screen, so it's still got Sans and Dr. Pepper in the background, but it's fine.
I love that Sans and Dr. Pepper and Tito Dick.
Yeah, they're synonymous with my channel now. But yeah, no, how about we balance it out? How about we go to a false villain now? Well, we'll go back and forth.
Sure.
Do we want to start with Michael Jackson, or who else was there?
Bill Cosby.
Okay, let's start with Michael Jackson, because that's the one I think... Oh, and Charles Manson, I think, was another one for you, right?
Yeah, Charles Manson.
Let's do Michael Jackson. That's the one I'm most passionate about out of the bunch.
Yeah, the documentary Leaving Neverland is literally stupid because everything was already disputed before the documentary even came out. Literally every point they made was already disputed before the documentary even came out.
Yeah, and like they also like in the documentary they literally say that one of the people who said they weren't a victim was a victim, and he literally brought it up and they said we're talking about you, not to you.
Yeah.
So it's like the
So
fuck.
it's literally like that would be insulting somebody that you think is a victim, so it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson, he was an off man. Like I'll say that he was a strange guy.
Yeah, but he's like got like this weird, like, where he wants to give people the childhood he never had and all that stuff. I know that people say that all the time, but I mean it's true.
Yeah, like well the thing is Michael Jackson didn't have a good childhood. He was thrown into being a celebrity.
He wanted kids to not have to experience the molestation he had to go through as a child.
Yeah, like because he went through abuse. He went through being in the limelight at a very young age, which is not healthy. And because his dad treated him like shit. Let's not forget about that time you said no to Five Nights at Freddy's. But yeah, as I said earlier, Andy, Five Nights at Freddy's I don't like. I don't like most modern horror games. But anyway,
I think it was fine just for the basic game it was until it became popular.
I think it's boring and stupid.
Because I mean, well, to be fair, like as just one game, and the point of the game is to not get jump scared.
Yeah, but you're literally just pushing buttons in a chair, which I think is the least entertaining gameplay I've ever seen.
It takes a level of strategy, though. Like, why do you play strategy games?
I just don't get the appeal, man. I don't find the animatronics scary.
I just think it's a basic. Well, yeah, I think it's still like who was doing animatronic horror before Five Nights at Freddy's?
I'm sure it's been done before with like Chuck E. Cheese, like creepypastas and stuff.
Yeah, but not like that. Like I'm just saying, like it made it like a thing, and
Okay.
I mean, like it's not just like horrible. It's just a game.
But anyway, back to Michael Jackson. Like his dad, because his dad was so abusive to him. Michael Jackson, the reason he had all those surgeries on his face was because he didn't want to look at his dad in the mirror. He didn't want to look anything like his dad. So that's why he had like the nose job and the cheek implants and all the other things he had done. And he also did have vitiligo, which, you know, made his skin get blotchy and start turning white. And like people say, oh, he bleached his skin. I think he might have evened it out to fix it because he had a bunch of patches. But I think that's the most he did.
Yeah, I don't think he literally bleached his skin.
Yeah, no.
That sounds like that's like making him out to be a complete insane person.
Yeah, like, but if you actually look at like pictures of Michael Jackson throughout time, you'll notice he gets lighter and lighter as he gets older.
Yeah.
Because he had vitiligo.
Yeah.
Just a particularly bad case of it.
And I mean, it's really sad though because the whole Michael Jackson thinks it's kicking a man who can't even defend himself and is already dead, and it's insane to make these accusations about somebody who already had all these accusations disproven when he was alive.
Yeah. Well, and like
he doesn't need to go through it again.
And like
he's dead.
The thing is, they tried to bring up like they said, oh, well, they found this evidence back in like 2005 or 2003 or something. But it's like, okay, then why didn't they use that in trial? They were desperate to find any evidence. They literally had a Hustler magazine that only had his fingerprints on it because they handed it to him and tried to use that against him, which, even if it was his Hustler magazine, wouldn't prove shit.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if they had all this evidence against him in 2003, that would have come up in the 2005 trial.
Mm.
Not to mention, like, one of the kids that was, like, famous to be, like, one of his quote-unquote victims, first off, said he wasn't a victim, and it was his dad that was trying to get the money from Michael Jackson for it. That's why he settled. And the thing is, people try to use, oh, he settled as an excuse, but he just wanted to get it over with, and in fact, he was settling it probably to help himself with the what's it called? The criminal trial, because the civil trial that he did wasn't supposed to affect the criminal trial. And they were basically just bringing back the same cases in the 2005 trial that were in the 93 trial. Like, it's the same thing. And, like, people try to act like it was a bunch of different stuff. And, like, there were people that were desperate to try and find evidence. That's why I think, like Razor Fist has done really good videos in depth about Michael Jackson and, like, rebutting it. And obviously
also, I think it's interesting, the two child actors who have come out about, because Macaulay Culkin and what's the other kid's name?
Corey Feldman.
That was in, yeah, Corey Feldman, where they're both been honest and open about, like, bad stuff they've went through as child actors. Neither of them have ever brought up Michael Jackson as something bad that's happened in their childhoods.
And, like, Corey Feldman is known for outing people who sexually abused him. That's, like, what he did. Like, that's what he's known for now.
I think Macaulay Culkin did, too.
Yeah. But, like, Corey Feldman, that's, like, the main thing he's known for now.
Yeah. And he said Michael Jackson was good, so...
Yeah, he said Michael Jackson never did any of that. So yeah, I think when people think Michael Jackson, when they just believe that blindly because they quote-unquote saw the documentary, fuck you.
Yeah, the documentary was stuff that was already, like, it's literally just taking a bunch of random stuff that was already disproven from, like, the old trial and like, old stuff from the news that was already proven.
Yeah.
Like, you can even watch, like, like, anybody who's watching this, like, you can look at Razor Fist's video. He's gone over, like, all of Leaving Neverland and shown how it's just taking stuff that was already disproven from the past and just reselling it to a new audience that hasn't seen any of that stuff.
Yeah. Which, I would recommend people watch that video. Razor Fist, he made really good videos on Michael Jackson.
And John Doyle's video on Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes, also a great video. Is that how we want to segue?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Martin Luther King Jr. There's a national holiday made after him. It's the only person in the U.S. that has ever had an actual federal holiday named after him. Like, Washington kind of did for a while, but then it became President's Day. But, point is, Martin Luther King Jr. Now, I will preface this by saying, some of the things accomplished through Martin Luther King Jr. were good. For instance, ending segregation. But he can't take credit for all of that, because the civil rights movement was much larger than him. But Martin Luther King Jr. was... People try to say that he, like...
I'm more of a Malcolm X guy.
Malcolm X was at least honest. And Malcolm X changed his ways before he died. You know that, right?
Yeah, I don't think he was ever, like... I think he was... Wasn't he always speaking of self-defense, though? Or was he not like that in the beginning?
He was, but, like, he actually, like...
context I've seen of him was...
Yeah, no, but he was, like... But he also did hate white people.
Yeah.
But
I know, like, he wanted to separate... He even wanted separation.
Yeah, but he changed his ways before he died. Like, he came to terms with all that and, like, renounced all of that.
Yeah, I just like that he believed in, like, setting something up for yourself. Like, if the world is against you, do it yourself, you know?
But yeah, as
like,
I was saying...
if nobody else will help you, you gotta pick yourself up.
Right. But yeah, as I was saying, Martin Luther King, some of the things that were accomplished in part because of him are very good, like ending segregation and whatnot. That said, that was not his main goal.
Martyr complex.
He did have a martyr complex, and the only reason he's remembered is because he was a martyr. There were plenty of other people that were just as prominent as him, if not more
and
so.
I don't like celebrities that encourage that whole martyr mentality.
Yeah.
In general.
But, like,
I don't like that that's people's standard of goodness is self-sacrifice.
Yeah. But the main thing Martin Luther King was trying to do with the civil rights movement was push socialism. That was his main goal. All the
I don't think it was late in life. I think it was the whole time.
Yeah, no, and it was absolutely the whole time. And a lot of the things he said, he didn't practice what he preached. Because when he gave speeches, he encouraged peaceful protests, but he also encouraged riots, which is something that people on the right like to overlook, because people on the right like to use Martin Luther King as an example to say, look, you're not following what he believed, but it's like, neither did he.
Yeah, like, he wasn't even really Christian. If you go back and read, like, his old, what he wrote about Jesus, he wrote that he didn't even believe that Jesus was actually the Son of God, but actually just somebody who died for religious beliefs, and that he didn't actually believe that the Bible was true, so he's not really a Christian even.
Yeah. Well, they wanted him to be a reverend, quote unquote, so that it would, like, give him a sense of credibility, because, people trusted reverends.
Because he wanted, and that's what got him to appeal heavily to conservatives.
Yeah. But he also... Now, I've heard different things on this. Was he the one who raped the chick, or did he just watch someone rape the chick?
He watched someone.
Yeah, and he did nothing about it. He thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And like...
it was,
He cheated on his wife a lot, too, and went to a lot of orgies. I'm pretty sure he did drugs.
And people that say he didn't become, like, communist until he was old or something, and later on in life, but there's pictures of him in, like, I don't remember if it's like a communist camp or school or something back, like, there's pictures with him in, like, I can't remember what, like, it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For communist.
Yeah, another thing is, like, he started an organization, like, or maybe he didn't actually start it, but it's typically referred to as his organization because he was a part of it, and, like, it like tried to make him, like, their mascot. And there was this lady, I remember I saw the video because it was in John Doyle's video. This lady was like, there was this chick that, like, murdered her boss, and, like, the group, the Martin Luther King group, I can't remember what it was called. Was it the SPLC or was it something else? I can't remember. Point is, it was a group that was heavily associated with Martin Luther King Jr. Said that she wasn't responsible for killing her boss.
Yeah.
It was his fault because of racism.
Yeah.
When she literally just killed her boss because she didn't think she was getting paid enough.
Yeah. But it's, that's really what the problem I have with a big problem with, like, the idea of systemic racism is it doesn't make sense, because it's like saying that racism originates because they say specifically, like, whiteness, and that black people can't be racist because they don't benefit from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they say it's,
and
power. They say it's a power dynamic.
They completely ignore that black people have owned white people in the past.
Well, and the first people to sell slaves to the whites were blacks.
Yeah.
And the first slave owner in the U.S. was a black man.
Mm-hmm. So it's
and not to mention, did you know that currently...
It was never about, like...
Go ahead.
What is it?
Okay, I guess
I was just gonna say, like, it's not... like, slavery in itself doesn't, like, they act like slavery is racist, but it's, like, slavery's bad, but it's not racist in itself, because slavery's just, I want work done, I'm gonna force somebody else to do it.
Now, granted, the way slavery was practiced in the U.S. was racist. Because it was
Racism was just the way we defended it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, like, the point. The point was we wanted work to be done.
Sure, I'm just saying that there definitely was racism.
I wasn't there, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I would hope not. But no, I mean, there was obviously a racial element to it. Whether it was used simply as justification or it was a component, there was definitely a racial element to it.
Yeah. But I would say it became a result of the slavery, not the other way around.
I mean, that's certainly possible. But I'm not going to discredit that slavery was practiced in a very racist way.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, even if there was no racism aspect, we still would have kept them as slaves because we still wouldn't want to be doing work. We would rather somebody else do it for us.
Right.
As in, like, people in general. I'm not actually saying that I would.
Yeah, I would hope. But one other thing that, gets overlooked a lot is, did you know that there are more slaves in the world right now than there ever have been?
Yeah.
Because human trafficking is a big thing, both for sexual and for labor purposes.
Do you think they're mostly white people or black people or what race?
I'd have to look at statistics, but I think it's pretty mixed.
If it's white people, I want to be accommodated.
Yeah, there you go. Get your reparations, damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, one key difference I will admit, though, is it was the government doing slavery back then, whereas it's not now. Or the government at least endorsed it. Like, it was private owners that did have slaves, but the government did endorse it at the time, at least tolerated it. Although there is a lot of myths behind that, because a lot of the founding
Biden's got slaves.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. But the thing is like with like the founding fathers, a lot of people say, well, a lot of them had slaves, but it's like they also like detested slavery. It was something that they considered like a necessary evil of the time, which I still think is wrong.
It's better to keep slaves in a safe environment than to let them be owned by somebody else who will abuse them.
Well, that too, but that's not what I was getting at. I was saying that a lot of the founding fathers didn't like slavery.
I'm just saying, if they're going to be slaves anyway, they should be slaves to somebody who's going to keep them in a less harsh environment.
I mean, I get where you're coming from that. I think that is a dangerous mindset, though, because that could easily... You know what I mean?
It doesn't even apply to now.
No, I'm just saying... I know that. I'm just saying, people having that thought, that is also kind of a dangerous mindset, too. Because that just makes it easier to have slavery still exist.
Yeah, but I was just saying...
No, I get what you're saying, and I do agree in principle. I'm just saying that mindset could have easily contributed to the problem.
Let's just say, like, if there is slavery right now, is it better to... and you know that you could save a slave from being abused by owning it, and you don't own it, you're responsible for that slave being abused, aren't you?
Yeah, I would say in that scenario, yeah.
Because it's like I just mean, like, in that time period, that's how a lot of people actually were. They kept slaves because they wanted to protect them.
I mean, I'm sure there were people who did that. I don't have any statistics on that, but I'm sure that happened.
Well, yeah.
But most of the founding fathers also freed all their slaves when they died.
I'm just saying, like, the idea that everybody was a racist back then, and was just...
Yeah, no, I think that people did things for different reasons. But yeah, also...
I mean, the people that protect slaves don't get really brought up ever either.
Alright, should we go back to another false villain, or should we do another false hero? Because I just thought of one with all of what we were talking about.
What would you think of?
Karl Marx, because he's a hero on the left.
I honestly don't know a lot about Karl Marx.
Karl Marx is a piece of shit. He is one of the biggest pieces of shit in history. Because, he wrote the Communist Manifesto, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, the thing is that people, like, if you don't know, Karl Marx is one of the most racist people that has ever existed. Some of the stuff he wrote back in those days were considered racist by people of the time. He considered blacks subhuman and often referred to them as niggers. All the time. And, like, was really, like, degrading about it. He was super against black people. He didn't like Jews. He was one of the most racist people to ever exist. And yet he's valued by the left. But, like, when the left looks at Karl Marx, they say, oh, but he was a product of his time. But they never give that same benefit of the doubt to anyone else. And it's like, no, he wasn't. He was actually considered incredibly racist even at the time.
Yeah.
Not to mention he helped to popularize communism, which is just retarded and also dangerous and has killed over 100 million people, so,
Whenever I see somebody who's, like, trying to defend communism and they actually, like, put up, like, the Russian communist flag, it's like one of those things where it's, at that point you can't even be arguing that you're not, like, an authoritarian person who wants to kill people.
Yeah, because Stalin killed more people than Hitler.
Because it doesn't even, and it's, like, even, like, doing that ironically, it's, like, weird. It's like if conservatives literally just did actually just like full on embrace Hitler and just wore swastikas and went around. It wouldn't even make sense though because they're not as connected as the left is to actual communism.
Oh yeah, and again, Nazism is technically socialism too. It's National Socialism.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what it
I
means.
just mean like literally what they're doing is what they think the conservatives do.
Yeah. Well, when you call
funny, though, is like everything they say about conservatives is actually an insult to themselves.
yeah, it's what we call projection, Corbin. It's a big problem on the left. There's actually like a comment I remember that someone made on. I remember I did my video. I think it was on election day about all that, and some of my regular viewers were basically showing that they were leftists and like complaining and bitching at me, right? And, like, somebody in the chat called them a Marxist, and they said, of course, what's wrong with being associated with Karl Marx? It's like, well, if you're saying that, then I don't think you know Karl Marx all that well, because there's a lot wrong with being associated with Karl Marx.
Did you actually explain that?
No, I gave up on trying to communicate with leftists a long time ago. I don't usually respond to leftists in my comments all that much, because it's like talking to a brick wall.
I think it's funny to just waste their time.
Well, so
because they're completely willing to just give up all of their time.
That's true, but you know my Rio videos, right?
Yeah.
For a while, I did try to respond to those comments, and then I gave up on it. But eventually, like just the other day, like a week or two ago, someone commented, "This video is transphobic." So I responded with a quote from Family Guy. I literally just said, "I'd be more apathetic if I wasn't so lethargic." But it's true, like, because you know what that would mean is I would have more energy to not give a shit if I wasn't so tired. Because I'm getting tired of, like, they always make the same argument as if they're, like, special and they're the first one to do it. Like, especially on the Rio video. Like, there's so many people that are just like, this video is transphobic. It's like, okay, like, I haven't heard that a billion fucking times.
And they don't even understand, like, they don't even understand. They think a hermaphrodite is a transgender. It doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, they like to lump them in together. And actual intersex people actually don't like being lumped in with trannies a lot of the time.
I wouldn't either. It'd be an insult.
Right? See, spiciest episode. But yeah, no, another false...
Because that's comparing somebody with an actual medical problem to somebody with a mental disability.
That's true. It's like in that episode of South Park where Randy's dad said, or not Randy's dad, Stan's dad says niggers on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
And so like everyone like gets mad at him and starts like like persecuting him, and it's like a parallel to how black people were actually treated.
Yeah.
And like Token gets really mad at Stan because Stan's trying to understand it. But there's like that scene. Don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this. But what Stan's like, he compares it to midgets, and Token's like, so you think black people are midgets? It's the same thing, Like, you think trannies are hermaphrodites? And vice versa?
Yeah. And then, also, when it was... The whole idea is stupid too because they don't believe in souls. They say they believe in science. They don't even believe in souls. So I don't understand. Like, how could a man be in a woman's body?
Yeah.
There's no soul.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, well, and like the fact that they think that every personality trait is a gender. They think that personality is gender. They confuse the two. It's like, no, they're very different things. And so what?
I
Now,
don't know how you could even get that confused.
like, are all
Like,
tomboys trans guys
why
now?
would your sexual preference determine the things you like and don't like?
Yeah, no, it makes no sense.
Regardless, but like, people want to. People like, honestly, I just think like the whole I think transgenderism and homosexuality and most of it, like 99% of the time is just people seeking attention.
I'd agree. I'd say the same thing with like, especially like lesbians. There's so many fucking lesbians you see nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like it's artificially inflated. Like, there's just chicks that Because I mean, lesbians don't exist. I think we both know that. Because women experience sexuality different.
Yeah.
I don't think they're actually attracted to the opposite sex in that regard.
Yeah.
We've had that discussion before, I'm sure, but
The way I see it is, a woman can't get a woman pregnant, so I mean, it's not like it's going to be programmed into anybody's brain to have sex with the same sex. Like, it's not programmed into you. I've just, like, I can't even think of it as not a choice. Like, I can't anymore.
Well, again, I don't know what all the contributors are. And again, as I'm sure we both know, but just in case there's any whiny people who see this later, neither of us think it's necessarily immoral to be homosexual. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, morally speaking.
I don't care. Like, I think you can do whatever you want with your own body. That's what I'm against abortion, though, because it's not your own body.
Hey,
you know
perfect segue, Corbin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm really glad that Roe v. Wade is most likely going to be overturned, because it's bad law, too. Because it was predicated on a part of the 14th Amendment that was twisted and turned to be something it's not, and it created a right that just simply doesn't exist.
It doesn't make sense, because your rights shouldn't trump somebody else's rights.
Yeah. Well, and like they're like, oh, my body, my choice, but it's like it's not your body. It's literally not.
And I'm sick of. I'm gonna talk about like my dad's girlfriend or whatever.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So she was upset or whatever. She was posting a thing that literally said that that an abortion. It was an abortion. It wouldn't even matter if it was a 5-year-old's life, because the point is the woman's convenience or whatever. Blah blah blah. And I disagreed with that, which seemed not like in a very extreme view to disagree with that. I thought it was a pretty normal kind of stance to have, to not be for the murder of 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
But she got upset. And then she said something that didn't even make sense. She started defending it by saying that late-term abortions are for dead babies.
Which they're not.
Babies that are already dead.
Which by definition is not true.
That's not even abortion.
Yeah, that would be the removal of a stillbirth.
Yeah, and also it doesn't even make sense, because the Post said that it was for the woman's convenience, and that it wouldn't matter if it was a 5-year-old. So that defense doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then apparently, and she said that I was conspiratorial for thinking that people get late-term abortions and encourage late-term abortions for like the killings of actual babies, which is weird. She's accusing me of being conspiratorial when she literally posted something that was advocating for killing of babies.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, I don't know what's going on with your. Okay. Okay, you moving your mic there made the little like I heard what you said, but it did distort a little bit. But you're good now. When you were moving the mic.
Wait 1 second. You hear me fine?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Okay. But she literally called me. She literally accused me of planning on insulting her. Which
is just retarded. If you wanted to insult her, you'd just insult her.
Yeah. Also, I thought it was so funny because at the end she was like, "You're trying to make me look bad," and it's like, how can I make you look bad? Your stance was that it's okay to kill 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
How could I make you look bad? It doesn't make sense. Like, she doesn't think about. These people don't think about anything.
No. I got a comment from Andy. In 2022, James Rolfe did a VHS Memories and What Nostalgia Means to Me video, which felt like a love letter to physical media, despite him previously trashing physical media in the Blu-ray Sucks video. No, I saw that video. I thought it was pretty good. I watched that one. To be fair, he didn't say he hated physical media in the Blu-ray video. He just said that, like, streaming was better, which it only is in the case of convenience, and even then that wears off because streaming services lose stuff. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying, Andy.
I like old stuff.
I do too. I think
VHS is the perfect format for movies.
Well, I mean, there are issues with it. Like, the main thing is they do wear out over time. But then again, discs also rot, too, so...
I think the cheapness of it is a bonus, though, because they could just keep making them and keep making them and keep making them forever.
No, and they're fun, too. Like, there's a certain charm to the quality of VHS, too. Like, it's like the lower quality actually adds to the effect. Like, especially if it's like an old horror movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because it makes it look like...
Makes it grainy.
Makes it look more real by distorting it, kind of.
Yeah, like slasher movies, I feel like don't work unless they're like kind of grainy and lower quality.
Mm-hmm. If it's in too much detail, you can see the flaws.
Yeah.
Like Evil Dead, if you like watch the Blu-ray, it looks like worse.
Yeah, it does. That's why I have the DVD. Because the DVD is better than the Blu-ray in that case.
Yeah, I have the Evil Dead 2 DVD at least.
I have all of them on DVD.
Yeah, I have Evil Dead on. I have the first one on Blu-ray though, which sucks.
All right, do we want to keep talking spicy topics, or do we want to keep talking movies and stuff? Because I'm good either way.
You want to talk about Seth Rogen?
Yeah, we can talk about Seth Rogen. I hate Seth Rogen. One of my least favorite actors.
Yeah. He's, I would say, like, he's the worst actor.
He's up there. Point. He makes, like, the same, like, 6 jokes.
He's the Ethan Klein of comedians.
I absolutely agree.
But he's, I think it's funny, though, that the guy who's, like, famously known for, like, smoking weed is, like this child on Twitter. Like, he's just constantly antagonizing people on the internet with really stupid insults that don't make sense and are really bad.
Well, and, like, he had that really bad take when, like, Casey Neistat had his car broken into. Seth Rogen said, "That's called living in a big city. You should just deal with it." It's like, you're acting like this is normal and it's fine?
It's because he thinks stealing's okay. Because he's a socialist. He thinks theft is good.
That's true. And, like, all of his jokes are like, sex!
Yeah, literally Sausage Party. The moral of the movie Sausage Party is, there is no God, let's all have sex.
Yeah. And also,
that's
like...
literally the whole lesson.
He's also like, weed! They're using their sexuality as a weapon!
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Seth Rogen line now.
It's so bad.
They're using their sexuality as a weapon.
They're using their sexuality as a weapon. And his laugh is just so painfully, like, obnoxious too.
Yeah. He literally made a movie where he's married to he's in a relationship with the first female president.
That's so bad. So
he's such a sad person.
He's a sad, strange little man, and he has my pity. Except he's not even worth pity.
Yeah,
he's not even worth it. Not worth it.
Not worth it. I thought it was funny, though, that he bragged to, like, this one guy where he was like, "I've been a socialist since I was a kid." It's like, and the guy's like, "Yeah, most kids grow out of it."
It's true. Look, everyone goes through a faggy socialist phase when they're a teenager. Everybody.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was because I didn't even understand what it actually meant.
Exactly, because
because as a teenager you don't get it. You don't get what
you're emotionally manipulated because you want to help people.
Yeah, you think of it a lot more simplistically.
Yeah, but it's a phase, and you should. If you're a mature adult, you grow out of it.
Because you realize it's literally impossible, and it's never worked ever in history ever.
Yeah.
Like it just blows my mind that people can defend something that's literally never worked and never will.
Yeah.
And it's also sad because we have something that literally did work, that made rockets and cars, and we got to space, we made cool drugs, we made TVs. I mean, capitalism's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't understand the complaint exactly. It's brought us all this cool stuff, and then people are like, "Oh, you don't want a government, but you want to worship these corporations." It's like, at least these corporations give me something. The government gives me literally nothing.
Well, yeah, and like the thing is the whole point of capitalism is if you don't like a corporation, you don't buy their shit, and like if enough people don't like them, they don't do well.
You vote with your money.
Exactly.
The way it should be.
It should be that way, yeah.
But people demonize literally the only thing, literally the number one thing we need to survive. We demonize.
Yeah. Well, it's like people also don't like competition. They don't like people being better than others at things. It's just why? That's nature.
Also, I think it's weird when people say like capitalism and Christianity have this big connection. It's like literally Christianity would be like literally doesn't work with capitalism because because the Bible is anti-money.
Yeah, I mean, I do think there are a lot of Christians that are capitalists, but I do think that...
but what I'm saying is the whole thing about, like...
The two ideologies are not cohesive.
Yeah, like, they don't actually work. Like, it's... A person can believe in two contradicting ideas, but they're still contradicting.
Right, well, I don't think that Christianity necessarily, like... I guess it depends on the kind of Christianity, but yeah, like, the whole point of Christianity is helping people and like caring for the needy and stuff like that. But that's
what's led. Christianity is what's I think has actually caused. I think actually inspired the left. I think more than it has the right, because the left is the ones that they take the martyr complex from Jesus and they take because they're a product of our overly Christian American past.
I mean,
They've gotten their martyr complex from Jesus, and then they've got their hatred for money from the Bible.
I mean, I do certainly think that's part of it, but I do think also, like, the left also despises Christianity, too, because they want to remove... Because, here's the thing. Christianity was...
I know they hate Christianity. I'm saying that they're hypocrites because they don't acknowledge that a lot of their ideology was inspired by Christianity.
Well, yeah, I was about to say that most of our Western values come from Christianity, and I think that's important to notice. And I think that's overall... Christianity overall was a good thing in creating...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that their morals are inspired by Christianity, but contorting it to, like, this weird, butchered, disgusting thing.
Yeah. But a lot of our things we recognize as moral and immoral, it
literally took all the worst lessons of the Bible.
Yeah. Whereas I think the right, for the most part, takes the better ones. Yeah, exactly. What do you want
to talk about now?
Well, I was going to say we didn't get to Bill Cosby. Do you want to do him?
Sure. I actually don't have as much to say about Bill Cosby, but we can talk about Bill Cosby.
Yeah, we'll knock it out of the way.
Because it's like all I can say is there's no evidence, so it shouldn't have been a thing in the first place.
And it was the legally correct move to exonerate him, whether or not he did it, which he very well might have. I don't know whether or not Bill Cosby is guilty.
I don't think we should be allowed to just take anybody to court that we want anymore.
I agree. I think we're an overly litigious society.
There's so many people, and we can just waste each other's time forever.
Yeah.
Like, it's all just to waste each other's time, and it's pointless.
But, like, in order to get a statement that even incriminated Bill Cosby at all, they had to violate his Fifth Amendment rights. So it is a good thing he got off on that.
I think there can only be a trial if evidence is found first at this point.
Right, and I do think that our fundamental human rights can't be violated. And that's why it's good that he was released.
And it's definitely guilty till proven innocent in America.
Yeah, which it absolutely should not be. Because it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't get that benefit of the doubt.
The whole believe women thing. Also, I'm really glad that what's going on with
Johnny Depp
is happening, where he's fighting back, and I hope Elon Musk keeps fighting back against his exaggerations.
Yeah, there you go. Although again, Elon Musk is a weird one to bring up, especially when you bring up Johnny Depp, because again, Elon Musk was kind of weird with the Amber Heard
Yeah,
thing.
I know. I'm just saying, like, they're both fighting against accusations.
Sure, yeah. But the thing is like with Johnny Depp too, I do like that basically everyone is on his side.
Yeah.
Nobody is on the side of Amber Turd.
Also, we haven't heard a lot of what Elon Musk has had to say about the situation to really say.
Yeah, other than early on when he was
That's
initially
what-
supportive of her and paying some of her legal fees and whatnot.
Yeah, he was. I guess that is bad.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like,
I don't know, maybe his opinion's changed. That's
Yeah.
also possible.
'cause, I mean, like, he hasn't said anything about it. You think he would if he was.
Or maybe he's avoiding saying something about it because he knows it would get people to turn on him. Like, I mean, that's just me being cynical, but that could be true.
Could be, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic about things.
I know you are. And I'm being the doom and gloom one to try and crush all your hopes and dreams.
But I actually do. I actually feel pretty optimistic about the future because it does feel like at least things are turning in a good direction, public-wise.
Yeah, I definitely think there have been a lot of
Yeah.
positive things that have happened recently. Like the
Yeah.
upcoming, most likely overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a big conservative culture.
Which I think is absolutely necessary to counterbalance the way things have been.
Yeah.
And again, I agree with conservative values a lot more than I do leftist values, even though there are some conservative values I disagree with.
To me, at this point, being conservative is just being a normal person.
Yeah. Well, especially with the way that conservatives have been redefined to be anyone to the right of Stalin.
Yeah. it's become one of those things where it's just I just want to return to everything not being insane.
Yeah. And I think that's all most people want. That's why so many people have left the left.
Yeah.
Because the left is disgusting now. Like, it used to kind of stand for something.
It's exhausting.
Like, I remember when it was the right. Like, back in the day, there were issues with the right. Like, when they were trying to censor movies and video games, and they were being overly, like, moral. Like the moral panic. That was a problem.
The left today is what conservatives used to be, but actually worse.
Yes. In all honesty, I would take moral panic over what we have now any day of the week.
Yeah, I'd rather. I mean, I'd rather, like. It's so hard because it's like I like the violence in the games, but the Christian. I guess that was more of a. I don't want to say conservatives exactly. 'Cause it's more of a Christian thing, really.
Yeah, but
Christians
they
are the ones that were
can.
against, like, the
but
violence in video games and all that.
yeah, but again, I would take
But-
that over what we got now.
Yeah.
And the thing is there is still elements of the right that are like that. There are still Christian elements of the right that do want to do
But I
away
also
with
like
things.
that there is this part of the right that's like for the offensiveness.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is I do like a lot of the Christians on the right too. Like, I love Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is great.
Yeah.
I just disagree with
I
him
like
when it
the
comes
ones
to
that
his
don't
extreme content.
Make it. I don't like when they want to actually force me to. Like that. I don't like when it becomes like an issue of. I don't like where they want to ban pornography or they want to.
Yeah.
I don't know, stuff like that. They used to be like really weird with like. I don't know. I think they used to be like really like against like all forms of drug use completely, but now they're like more lenient on certain things.
I know that like Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh are still against drug use.
Yeah. But there are definitely a lot more now that aren't.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, I still like a lot of the Christian part of the right. I just disagree with them. But the thing is the parts on the right you disagree with, you can disagree with, and they'll be like, oh, that's cool, great, let's talk about, like, they'll accept that you disagree and still value you as a person.
In fact, they like having these conversations.
Yeah.
While the left just gets angry and miserable about everything because they have such a negative, hateful mindset, and then they get mad at everyone else because they think everyone else is hateful. Like, it's all self-projection.
Yeah.
They think everyone's like them, actually, on the inside, and that we're all lying.
Well, do you know why the term homophobic exists?
because they want to make it seem like anybody who disagrees with them is like scared.
So yeah, partially yes, but there's a reason they call it homophobic and not anti-gay. And the reason is
Why is it?
they believe that everyone is secretly gay on the inside, and if you're come out as anti-gay, you're afraid of that gay part of yourself.
That's funny.
Yeah. Same thing with transphobic. That's what they think, is they think that everyone is a little gay and a little trans.
I don't think everybody's a little trans, but I think like we're gay in the same way monkeys are gay, in that they just like the sexual convenience of it, and that's it.
Corbin confirmed gay for convenience.
I'm just saying that monkeys do it for convenience,
Yeah.
and that it's not like monkeys are just like there are monkeys that are just like, ugh, women monkeys, disgusting.
Right. They're not like, ew! Oh, did you want to get to Charles Manson?
Oh yeah. Another case that doesn't have evidence. You shouldn't have been in jail for life because you need evidence. That's just true. Period. Like,
Yeah.
You need evidence. I hate that anybody gets a. I like you said before. You know how you said you'd rather
100 guilty
like,
men walk free than one innocent man be
yeah.
locked up? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a Benjamin Franklin quote, but yeah, I've said that before too.
Yeah, that's a good quote.
Yeah.
Because I agree with it. Like it's better for the innocent to be not punished for no reason.
Yeah.
Than for all of the guilty to be punished.
Agreed. But I know with Charles Manson, you said that like Helter Skelter was mostly a myth that he didn't actually agree with.
Yeah, he never said that Helter Skelter was real. He's always been against that theory. That people say like, oh, it was about like a race war or whatever. Like Charles Manson never said anything about a race war. You'd think if he wanted it so bad, he would have like mentioned it in the billions of interviews he's done.
Right.
Like he never. You'd think that if he wanted a race war, he actually would have like encouraged a race war.
Right, but like he was still the leader of the Manson family, I assume, right? Like, because I do know like that was one that you weren't too sure on when we talked about it last time.
Yeah, he's not the.
Because it's called the Manson family, and he literally released an album called.
That's not what he called it. He wasn't going around calling it.
But the thing is he did release.
Family.
But he did though, because as a group, he released an album called the Manson Family Album.
As a music group, yeah.
Okay. So that's the distinction.
Like it's just like as like a. That's all he did was he was involved with the music. There's no evidence of him doing literally anything else with them other than playing some music.
Right, and like I said, I'm not as familiar.
And all
with
of the songs, literally, like if you listen to the songs, they're literally about peace.
Yeah, as I said, I've never been as familiar with Charles Manson as you are. But that's one thing I really like about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, how Tarantino like implies like because Tarantino thinks Manson's innocent too. And that's why I really like the ending to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like that one scene where Tex is like telling him what Charlie said to do, and they're like, "Did Charlie say it? Did Charlie really say that?" And he's like, "Either Charlie said that, or I'm a liar."
Mm-hmm.
Good shit.
And who was it that was president at the time?
Was it Nixon?
It might have been Nixon, but the president said he was guilty before he even had a trial.
Yeah. When was he convicted? Let's see. Let's see. 69,
Also, it's stupid
71.
that the people that were actually proven to kill people, like the ones that actually commit murder, got more lenient sentences than Charles Manson.
Yeah, it was Nixon.
It's stupid that the people who actually do it are seen as victims.
Yeah.
The people that actually go through with killing someone and ending someone's life, they make the choice to kill someone.
They're seen as
So how
victims
they're
because supposedly Charles Manson told them to.
it's so stupid because it's like it's like people like Charles Manson. He gets into your head, man. He makes you think things. He makes you like who? Why would you let somebody? How could somebody convince you that it's okay to murder somebody and like be like the
In
I just
cold
don't
blood,
believe
no
that.
less.
I don't believe that people can just be like turned into murderers just because some guy's like, hey, you know, it was pretty cool if you did this for me. I'm pretty charismatic.
I don't know, Corbin. We'll
Like,
see.
clearly they were psychos in the first place.
When I get you to kill a bunch of people for me, you'll change your tune.
But I just think it's also stupid. Like his story's never changed. He's always said the same things.
Uh-huh.
And I recommend people listen to the interviews, but don't listen to them as if he's actually like murdered people. Listen to them as if you're new to it. You don't know.
Yeah.
And I think like in me listening to it that way, I find that I actually feel bad for him because it's like he's trying to explain, like people get into his face and they antagonize him, call him a murderer and stuff like that, and he just has to say like, I'm not a murderer, I never killed anyone, and and it just trying to explain that he's literally not done anything, and people don't care, and they just get mad at him and get defensive and yell at him and whatever, and they think they're justified because it's Charles Manson.
Yeah.
And I think it's sad that he has to because it said that he has to spend his entire life in prison for something that didn't have evidence.
Right. How about we talk about the inverse now? How about OJ? What do you think of OJ?
I like Norm Macdonald's jokes about him.
Oh yeah. You know, those jokes are great. I think OJ is one of the biggest pieces of shit there ever was, because he literally got him away with murder and then wrote a book bragging about it.
Yeah.
Like, the book is literally called If I Did It, describing how he did it.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. And like,
It's like it's literally like he's taunting you. It's
Yeah.
like he's taunting everyone.
and like he did this interview where he like admitted to it all, but like he was doing
kind
it.
of funnily. It's kind of like a playfully evil thing to do.
Yeah, but like he did an interview admitting to the whole thing, right? Where he's up there and he's like, he's saying, "Oh, this is all a hypothetical situation. Well, I would have done this, then I would have done this." But then, like halfway through, he forgets that he's supposed to be saying a hypothetical. So he's like, "And then I did this, and then I did this."
It's funny.
Yeah, and OJ's also like super judgmental of people and like tries to like virtue signal on Twitter too. So it's like really funny coming from a guy who murdered 2 people and got away with it.
Mm-hmm. That's weird. It's people like OJ get to walk free, but Charles Manson and Bill Cosby.
Well, Bill Cosby does walk free now.
Yeah, but that's not gonna take back the time he had to spend in
It's true.
jail. Which sucks too, because he's in like his old age. He's like an old man in jail. It's sad.
Yeah.
Or he was. He has like 2 milky eyes. Like.
Did you see that one day when he was going into court and like the reporter walked up to him and he went, "Hey, hey, hey."
Yeah.
But yeah, because of like the Believe Women and the Me Too movement, whenever I hear about allegations, do you know what my first thought is?
What?
I don't care.
Yeah. I literally can't believe them anymore because you've seen like 20, you've seen them all.
Yeah.
Like it's like how many it's like at some point it's like, okay, so everybody's a rapist.
I mean, look, Hollywood is filled with all sorts of crazy shit like that. Like Hollywood, bunch of sexual misconduct, but
I don't believe that literally every single celebrity is a rapist.
no, I that's right, I agree. I'm just saying, like, we already know Hollywood is filled with all sorts of sexual deviancy. These guys are just people you're using as scapegoats because you're all doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Like Seth, like with Seth Rogen portraying James Franco, like it's not gonna be like he's not gonna be accused of sexual assault in 10 years.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be. You know.
But yeah, at some point, and that's what sucks. That's what's stupid about these people is that they're delaying the inevitable. They act like they're not going to be victims to their own mentality in the future, like to their own group.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to be victims to it at some point. With that, but everybody's bad according to that ideology. Everyone's evil.
Yeah. Well, and like if you're a white man and you're a leftist, you're just waiting for trouble. Especially if you're straight.
It's literally siding with the people that literally hate you.
Yeah. There's no logic behind it.
And that's I think even said that earlier, didn't I? That because I think I said before that the left's not even. They believe that everyone's gay.
Yeah.
Before you even said it, I said it. I think.
I don't remember. You might have.
But like they think like that's why that they
Your brain short circuit, Corbin?
I know it never happens. But that's why they don't. Never mind.
That's why they don't. Never mind. I agree.
I lost it.
Soiled it. Soiled it. Soiled it. Soiled it.
What do you think of?
I think it's pretty gay.
Yeah, I agree.
See. Let me check my notes, see if there's anything else we were supposed to talk about. Because since I'm going to look back at the old messages, yeah, see? Because I know we were talking about doing this shit show for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's an idea. So I know you're in like a lot of fan groups and stuff on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And like you'll be in a fan group, and then people will just start saying things that either don't make sense, don't fit with the fan group it belongs in, or just have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, people in the Vice City group were posting guns to make anti-gun people angry.
Yeah. But they would make it like loosely Vice City related by making like a Vice City joke.
Yeah, there you go.
The picture or something. And then, but I thought it was funny because it just literally just doing it to make people mad. And the majority of the people in the group were cool with it.
Yeah. And like, also, didn't you run into like a lot of like commies and like Steve Ditko groups, and it didn't make any sense?
Yeah, they're like fans of his art, but they don't like his but they hate him as a human being. And it's like, why would you call yourself a fan of somebody that you hate?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I like Watchmen, but I don't like Alan Moore.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say I'm a big fan of Alan Moore. Like I'd say I'm a big fan of Watchmen specifically, or a big fan.
Let me put it another way. I like Stephen King's books, but I don't like Stephen King.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean, but like it's stupid to be a part of that fan group though, because it's literally.
Well, but the thing is didn't Ditko put his ideology in his work a lot?
Yeah, like most of what he did was political.
What I don't get is like the leftists.
Also, I think you'd like Steve Ditko's comics because it promotes like lots of libertarian stuff.
You mean right libertarian?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said left libertarian, so I was a little confused.
I didn't say left libertarian, so it promotes a lot of libertarian stuff.
Oh, okay, I misheard. Yeah, like, I also don't get how, like, a lot of leftists are, like, fans of Ayn Rand, where it's, like, a lot of the things she said are antithetical to the things they say.
Yeah, like, my dad literally said that he thinks Ayn Rand would be a capitalist today.
You mean a communist, because she is a capitalist.
I mean socialist. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what he thought. I get confused with my words. I'm a special boy.
Yeah, because
But
she's like,
he
capitalism
said
was
that-
like the biggest thing to her.
Yeah, he said that he thinks she would be socialist and that she was a when you do nice things for other people, what's that called?
Altruist.
For no reason.
Yeah, altruist.
Altruistic, yes.
Yeah, which she
forgot the word
altruism
for
was the thing she hated the most.
Yeah. So my dad thinks that she's a socialist and an altruist.
Which are the two things that she hates the most.
Yeah.
Your dad's a strange person. Or he's just in denial because he likes her work and wants to, like, imagine she thinks like he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because even like I like though that on the Ayn Rand fan group. I mean, not Ayn Rand fan pages. Like when people comment though, they'll be like people will be fans of Ayn Rand but be against abortion even though Ayn Rand was for abortion. And I like that the people can see through that.
Yeah, like me, because I like Ayn Rand, but I despise abortion. It's one of the most
It's
evil
like
things.
one of those things where it's like if you actually believe in the principles of objectivism, you literally can't be for abortion. It's literally one of those times where she's literally against her own ideology.
Right, and it's like, look, I can like someone and disagree with something they say. Like, I can agree with a lot of things. Like, you're
Yeah.
never going to agree with someone on everything.
Yeah.
Like, we disagree on things, like the death penalty.
Because even with I'm willing to be. You could be a straight up baby murderer, and I can be friends with you as long as you don't murder me or murder my babies.
Yeah. I'm getting a phone call. Should we call it there for the shit show?
If you want,
I mean, because we're live, I can
you
take
can
a.
keep going.
Yeah, you want to keep rattling on? I'm gonna take this in the other room.
Okay.
Just keep talking. Hello.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, we'll probably wrap it up here in a bit. Okay, bye.
I didn't say anything.
Did you really not?
No, I couldn't think of anything to say.
You son of a bitch! I have to edit out all that dead air now. See, this is what happens on the shit show when it's not live, is there'll be parts where we don't talk or I'll get a phone call and then... But you get it all live here, but I'm going to edit it down in the actual final version when we re-upload it. Like, I'm going to leave this stream up, but I'm also going to do a recut, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we are running out of things to say, so I do think we should wrap it up here in a little bit.
What's more controversial right-wing opinions you have?
More controversial, like they're not right-wing things, or they are controversial because they're right-wing?
Controversial because they're right-wing.
Well, I'm very traditionalist when it comes to gender roles. I think that women do typically I think that men and women have specific roles in relationship, and I think that we should fulfill the ideal relationship fulfills those roles. Now, I don't have a lot of faith for relationships in general because I'm very cynical and jaded when it comes to that.
I'm a believer in human nature, and I think the farther we stray from our human nature, the less happy we'll be.
I agree. Like, I think we're kind of, like, that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was saying. You know, like, traditional gender roles are part of human nature.
Yeah.
As are, like, just traditional family roles in general. I think parents should be authoritarian to their children. I do. Like, that's the one case where I think it's important. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do think there's a limit. Like, I think
kids should be allowed to have secrets, though.
Absolutely.
Not with teachers.
No, of course not with teachers. But I do think it is natural for kids to keep things from their parents, but I also do think that the parents should be there to guide and lead the kid and not to try and be their buddy. You can be their buddy when they're grown up. Like, you can have a... You can be your friend of your kid when they're grown up, not when they're a kid. You know what I mean? Like that said, I'm not saying be, like, horrible to your kids. Like, obviously treat your kids well, but just make sure you're the one guiding them so that they know how to get through life.
The way I see it is tough times make tough people.
Yeah. Hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times, which make strong men, which it's a cycle.
Yeah. It's a vicious, vicious cycle.
Yeah. Let's see, other than my traditionalist on gender roles and human nature to an extent, I would say let's see, what's another controversial right-wing thing? Like, to be honest, I don't think being pro-life is that controversial anymore. I think a lot of people are turning against abortion, which I think is great.
I'm, like, completely capitalist. Like, against taxes, and against, even healthcare.
I agree, Corbin. Like, socialized healthcare, fuck that. I think it's wrong. Because it is immoral, and it actually doesn't make the quality... Like, socialized healthcare lowers the quality of healthcare. Healthcare is not a human right because it is impossible for a right to entitle you to someone else's labor.
Yeah, like, I like the way Yarn Brooks says it. Where Yarn Brook, he says that, like it's just objectively wrong to force someone to give you their money. That's just an objective evil. That's theft. There's no other way of looking at it.
Yeah.
That is theft. If you take my money, you are a thief.
Yeah. And also, like, taxation is theft, Corbin. I agree 100%. So
that's something that's so stupid about the left is that they used to speak that like they were the sign, like they were like they act like they're scientific when they go against like things that are objectively true, like men being men, women being women, and they go against the objective truth that taxes are theft. Like, they don't even call taxes theft. Like, what else could it be? It's taking money from someone. It's objectively theft. There's no other way of looking at it.
yeah.
Or it's saying that a baby, like saying that a late-term baby is still a fetus. Or they say, like, it's literally, they just completely go against objective reality and say that they're the scientific ones.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is like, obviously, I think we would both agree that life begins at conception, right? Like, there's no other consent. Like, there's no other way it makes sense.
Yeah, but I also think, like, you can't explain that to people.
Well, you can.
I don't think that's good. I feel like, yeah.
Look, Corbin.
But like, if it has a heartbeat, that's when it's objectively alive.
Well, no, but it already is alive long before that.
It is?
Yes.
Like, how does...
So, first off, it's already developing, therefore it's alive. A sperm is alive. When it becomes human is when it fertilizes and becomes a new set of DNA. When a new person is created. When the egg and sperm combine to form a completely new set of DNA. That is a new person.
Yeah, I guess that's a good argument just in itself.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm like, you can explain it. It makes sense.
Yeah, I never thought of it like when people, you never hear even anybody explain it in like a scientific way. Like, it's either like somebody saying like because God, or somebody saying because this is when it becomes human. Like, there's like not a lot of people that are in like the middle ground.
Corbin, have you watched Crowder's Change My Mind on Abortion?
Yeah.
Because he made that exact same argument I did, so you've heard it before, you just don't remember.
Yeah, but it's like, I understand his argument of like it's a cell that has like all these things.
No, but like he even says, it's when a new set of DNA is created that becomes a new person. Because at that point, it has already been decided that they are, like, it's a completely new set of DNA. It's not the mother's DNA, it's not the father's DNA, it is new DNA. Not to mention the fact that early on, it is already determined what your hair color will be, what your eye color will be, your sex, all that. That's all determined very early on. And it's like, it's already growing into a person. What else is it going to turn into? You know what I mean? It's not going to become a squirrel. It might become a lobster if you're that one girl. But otherwise...
But, yeah, yeah, it's just not like... Steven Crowder's like the only person I've ever heard with that take.
It's a good take, though.
So it's hard to, like... I mean, yeah.
And he's not the only one I've heard had it. He's just the first example I can think of. I can't think of any others right off. I know I've heard it from other places on the right. See, the thing is the problem that a lot of...
Shapiro has good arguments for it, too.
Yeah, and so does Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh's book, The Unholy...
Because, like, I remember, like, a lot of conservatives say potential life, too, I've heard.
I've never heard an actual conservative call it potential life. Everyone I've ever heard talk about it acknowledges it's a new right. Or every, like, actual conservative that's pro-life acknowledges it's a new life as soon as it's fertilized.
Or, I mean, like, when they're, like, explaining... Never mind. I don't know.
I think sometimes when talking to leftists, you have to dumb things down and, like, maybe switch your terms sometimes so they can understand it.
Yeah.
But... And, like, again, I do think it is a problem when the only argument they have is religion. That's why I never use religion as an argument. First off, because I'm not very religious. And second off, because it's not effective.
Yeah. I think,
But yeah, there you go. There's another controversial take, I guess, that life begins... Again, I don't think this is that controversial. I think people are turning on abortion culturally. I think it's beginning to shift.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. Because abortion is one of the most evil things you can do, because you're cheating someone out of a chance at living a life. Like, they're already alive, they're already alive, but they're not...
The only reason I'm hesitant is because it's hard for me to really, like, say, like... Because I'm a believer in choice, right?
Okay.
And not choice to kill a baby, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying choice to kill... I'm saying, like, if a woman doesn't choose to have a baby, doesn't choose to have sex, and is raped, that wasn't her choice. And it's one of those things where it's like, if I didn't choose this, is it still my responsibility if it wasn't my choice?
Yes, it is. Because first off, abortion isn't just taking it out, it's violently killing it and taking it out. So, is it okay to kill your son because his father raped you?
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's hard though, because it's like...
I can understand... Look, I can understand the emotional argument there, but it's not a logical one. It is purely an emotional argument, because it is simply...
I would say... But what I mean is, like, is it my responsibility to save somebody's life?
But it's not just saving them, it is actively killing them. That is how abortion works.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Because it's... Yeah. So that would make it murder, that's right.
Yeah. And at that point, if the mother does give birth, is she still obligated to feed it and take care of it? Yes. So what's different when it's inside of her?
Yeah. Just it's a hard topic.
No, it is. But I'm pretty absolutist on it, so my opinions are very fleshed out, because I know exactly what I think on it.
The one where it disgusts me though is when it comes to, like, when they defend late term abortion. That disgusts me.
Well, abortion in general disgusts me, but especially, like, late term abortion, you can't even argue.
I can that's what I'm saying, is that with early on abortion, at least I can understand that. Like, I can understand the view. I understand why they don't think of it as a life. But I get why they think that.
The problem is, though, Corbin, when people bring up that argument, and then you go and say, okay, I have this chart, where does life begin? They don't have an answer. So people just use that as an excuse and don't actually believe it most of the time.
Yeah.
And the same is true with rape, because you know that the case of rape abortions, like, are actually one of the lowest percentage of abortions that is carried out.
Yeah.
Abortions because of rape, it's like less than 1%.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that when it does, like, I don't want to be one of those people that it's just, I don't want to be, like, completely, I don't want to, because that's one of the, I don't I don't know. It's just a bad situation to have forced onto you.
Of course, it's a bad situation, but is it not traumatizing to have something killed inside of you and sucked out?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Like, again, look, the rape argument I can understand from an emotional level, but two wrongs don't make a right. And to try and say that it's okay to kill your child because the father raped you makes no sense. Because apply that at any other age and no one's going to argue it.
Mm-hmm.
And, Corbin, I'm going to say this, and don't take this the wrong way, but I do feel like you've kind of gone back and forth on this a few times, because you were on my side of this argument when we were talking to my friend Rem on the other shit show.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard because it's hard for me to, like, think of it, because it's hard. I mean, like, I can't get pregnant, so I can't think of...
You can still have an opinion of it. You can still understand how it works.
I know I can have an opinion. I'm just saying that I literally can't empathize. That, like, I can't actually, like, I can't, like...
I can process it pretty easily. I understand the concept. I know the toll it's going to take on your body. But that still doesn't give you the right to kill someone else.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. I don't know, I just,
Believe me, Corbin, I understand what you're saying. I just think that it's splitting hairs, and I think it makes sense as a trying to find a middle ground argument, but I also just don't think there can be any middle ground when it comes to killing babies.
mm-hmm.
And like I said, my friend, he does believe, if it's rape, then that's okay. And like I can understand that as a fair argument. I understand where he's coming from on that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, just because someone did something bad to you doesn't mean you can kill someone else.
Yeah, like, I do believe they'd be happier if they had the baby. It's just, like, I don't want to be somebody that forces that.
Well, you're not the one forcing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Look,
yeah.
And I get it. Something bad happened. Yes. But again, can I kill someone else because of it who's completely innocent and has done literally nothing to cause it? No.
Well, I just mean, like, they didn't choose to have to go through the pain of childbirth.
Sure. But just because...
I don't know if... Should I go through a lot of pain for something I didn't choose in the first place?
Well, what's better, you going through pain or you becoming a literal murderer?
Somebody put a gun to my head, and I had a gun in my hand, and it said, kill somebody else.
Okay, but that's a different argument. That's literally life or death. That's you or them. That's different.
Oh, okay.
Because that's literally you will die otherwise. Like a gun to your head, that's...
Yeah. Okay, so they have the gun pointed to my kneecap. And they say, shoot somebody else in the head.
What if that somebody else is your kid?
I actually wouldn't do it if it wasn't my kid. I would just get shot in the kneecap.
Good. So then your own argument falls apart there.
That actually does make a good point. Yeah. So I guess there is no real argument.
No, there's really not. The AVGN does still try to make references to modern things like the 3DO Interactive episode in which he mentions PlayStation 5, or in the Shrek episode when he mentions streaming service peak. Yeah, for sure, he does.
And then the whole argument of the baby being dead just doesn't even matter.
That's not an abortion.
An abortion, and literally nobody's against that.
Yeah.
Literally nobody's against getting a dead baby removed from you.
And like when people bring up if the woman's life is in danger. Do you know what? No one's against that either, because that wouldn't be an abortion as long as you try to save the baby while removing it.
Yeah.
Because, like, people try to make the argument, oh, the mother's life is in danger, but it's like, but it wouldn't be an abortion if they're just removing it and they try their best to save it. It's only an abortion if they kill it, by definition.
Do you think it should be a punishable? Do you think it should be punishable for when, do you think women who do drugs or even smoke when pregnant should be punished?
That is tough. That is very tough.
Because I actually do think that women shouldn't be allowed to smoke if they're pregnant.
You know what? Yeah, if I want to be logically consistent, I'd have to agree.
Because
they can smoke all they want after the baby's
really,
born, but
yeah,
but while they're pregnant, they are literally doing harm to it.
yeah.
Yeah, so I agree.
Also, it's like doing significant harm to the. It does significant harm for something just so you can feel that slight convenience.
Yeah.
That slight bit of happiness for like a momentary, like it's like, not even worth it.
It's true.
And isn't there like a pill that women take that literally like obliterates the baby inside them?
Yeah, that's called a I don't know what the like official name of it is, but it's like the day after pill or morning after pill. Yeah, I'd still consider that abortion and murder.
Yeah.
Like, the difference between contraception and that is contraception prevents fertilization. If it's not fertilized, it's still just your DNA. It's not another person. It does not create a whole new set of like a whole new person, you know?
Mm-hmm. It should just be simplified to, if it's human and you kill it, that's murder.
Yeah, and that is what
if it's human at conception.
Yeah, and it is. It is absolutely human at conception because it forms a new set of human DNA that is not neither the mother nor the father.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we went on with that. That was a good.
With all this, I'm filled with a lot of gobbledygook.
Yeah.
From like the past.
I know. That's why I got to remind you constantly that you're a logical person now, Corbin. So you don't revert to old programming.
It's just it's hard with the stance with what they think of people that have these stances.
Yeah, but you got to not care about that.
Promoted, because it's literally like I literally can't like I literally like don't believe in God. I literally can't believe in God, but it's still like you know how you get like it still feels like you still have like the memory of believing in it. So it's like every once in a while you still like.
No, I get it. Like I said, reverting to old programming.
Like I don't know how to explain.
Yeah, explain it by reverting to old programming. It's the way you used to think, and sometimes that pops back up. I get it, Corbin.
Yeah. But I guess we can't do this for that long.
Oh, well, I mean, we could. I mean, it's just Kyler wants to go get something to eat, and I'm like, yeah, I'll probably wrap up here in a minute, but he said to just let him know when I'm done.
Okay.
I'll also bring up a very good... this is a quote from Moral Oral, and the way it's used in Moral Oral, I disagree with, but I think it's a really good quote. We can't tolerate evil just because it's convenient.
Yeah. I'd say that sums up the left with
abortion.
Or it's literally... Yeah, I'd say it applies to kind of everything.
Yeah, I would agree. Now, I would highly recommend reading Matt Walsh's The Unholy Trinity. He does bring up God a few times, but he does make a lot of good arguments that don't have to do with God. Because, again, that is one problem I do find with the conservative right is the God thing, but I do think a lot of them are very good at doing... Like Matt Walsh in particular, I think, has some of the best arguments against abortion without even having to bring up God.
That's what I think. Is what a lot of people don't think about is they say like, oh, the people just believe in this because the Bible says it, and it's like the Bible, the lessons of the Bible were learned by someone though.
Yeah.
Like someone had to learn those lessons to write them.
Yeah, like, and again, like, you don't, like, the thing is the Bible was part of forming a lot of our moral foundations as a society. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
But the thing is, just
And I would
because...
say that there were objective morals that were found that are in the Bible.
And they were written in a way that, like, here's the thing. You can look at it as either literal or metaphorical. And there are arguments to be made for both. I do think that absolutely some of the writers of the Bible were literal, but there is certainly a possibility there was some metaphor used. I mean, as you know, I don't consider myself an atheist, but I'm not, like, ultra-religious, and I don't necessarily believe in organized religion, or I don't necessarily believe...
I wouldn't say I'm an atheist because I don't think... Because I mean, like, what... Because I think atheism is like saying, like, there's no God, right? Like, there's just definitely no God.
I mean, that's the way I would define it. Some atheists say that atheists just don't believe in God. Whether or not they believe he doesn't exist is a different argument, so it depends on how you define it.
Because I can believe in, like, a God, but I don't know how to explain, like, what a God is.
Okay.
Because it's, like, is a God just the creator of everything? Does it have to have, like, some sort of resemblance of a human? Does it have to...
Well, no, none of those things are
just
necessarily...
nature?
Like, again, with God, the definition is different depending on which religion you're going on.
Yeah.
And, again, you can believe in the concept of a God without having to believe in a religion, too.
Yeah.
And yes,
But
that
I
thing I
think
mentioned
that there's-
earlier about a woman getting
think that
fucked by a
everything
man
has-
without a condom can be a pregnant thing? What? Did you mention that earlier, Andy? Oh, okay, no, that's what he's getting at. Okay, to anyone who argues that I suck, which, again, I don't know what you're talking about there. But okay.
But where was I?
God?
Yeah, I don't. For me though, I can believe in God, but I don't understand the concept of afterlife.
Well, that's fine. You can believe in one without the other. And again, like for me, I personally, I think there probably is an afterlife. But again, that has nothing to do with what my thoughts on, like, the nature of reality are. Because for me, I don't know for sure if there is. I just kind of hope there is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a difference on how we view...
One of those things...
Go ahead.
For me, like, if I can't, like... I don't know if I can't even, like, argue it in my head.
Well, and that's fine. Because, again, I don't think that's relevant to how we solve real-world problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The way I see it, though, is that I feel like, in a way, it's better to... I personally think, this is just personally me, I personally think it's better to plan that there's no afterlife.
Sure. I agree, because you want
to live your life as if there is no afterlife.
Well, yeah, I would agree. Don't waste your life, because you don't know that you're getting another one anyway.
Yeah.
Because as far as we know for a fact, this is it.
And then I feel like believing in something because it's comforting doesn't actually do me a lot of good.
I agree. Look, like for me, I don't know how to explain it for me. Like, that's why I don't really know how to define my whole belief system. But again, I'm not religious, and I'm not an atheist per se either. I just I think I'm open to those ideas. But I do certainly agree
See,
that...
I feel like I'm actually... I actually feel like I'm one of the... I actually feel like I'm open-minded. Like, leftists always say that they're open-minded, but they're, like, the most intolerant people ever.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm actually an open-minded person.
Yeah.
Because I've been willing to, like, admit I'm wrong. I mean, I'm always willing to admit I'm wrong if I hear something that makes sense. Like, that's all I need is to hear something that makes sense.
Yeah. Of course, same. Like, I think if you don't admit you're wrong, then you're never going to be right. You're just going to think you're right and never... Like, if you're not willing to admit you're wrong, you'll never know when you're actually right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And lately, like, it comes to the point where it's like I no longer really care at all if other people believe me or not, or like
Good.
what I have to say or not. It just doesn't really matter to me anymore because I already have my own view of what is objectively good and what is objectively bad to a certain extent that it just doesn't matter to me anymore.
Good. That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm. And it's I don't know. It's like it's just one of like with my dad. Like it's one of those things where it's like if he was just like told me that he didn't want to associate with me anymore because he didn't agree with me or whatever, I honestly wouldn't care. 'Cause the morals come first. Morals before relationships.
Yeah, and that can be tough too.
Or principles before relationships.
Yeah, I'd agree. But like,
I
like-
really do.
go ahead.
I'm just saying I really do think it's important to because if you're allowing your relationships to determine your actions, then I think you're not really you. You're just kind of a puppet.
Yeah. And like, look, I think it's good to associate with people you disagree with, but they have to be willing to understand that you disagree.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about my dad is if he chose to that he didn't want to associate with me anymore because he disagreed with me, you know, it wouldn't be really a big. I'd be upset about it, sure, but I wouldn't. I'd get over it pretty easily because it's. What am I gonna do? Like feel bad about it forever?
Yeah, because again, at the end, you wouldn't have made that choice if that were in this
I guess
hypothetical.
so. Yeah, like I'm literally willing to be friends with anybody who's willing to be friends with me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I can disagree with you, and if you commit a horrible crime, I can want you to be held accountable. But I'm not gonna like if I knew somebody committed a crime, and it was like actually something that I cared about, I would call the police on them, sure. But I mean, like if I'm for one to be friends with anybody, no matter what moral stance they have, as long as they're nice to me.
Yeah.
Specifically, because I don't see the point in having more enemies than I need. I don't see the point in making nothing but enemies.
Yeah. No. It's not a good idea.
Because I actually care. I want people to understand where I'm coming from. If anything, I don't want people to think of me as the enemy.
Yeah.
I want to.
I mean, unfortunately, there will always be people who
because
think of you as the enemy because they're nothing but ideologues.
Mm-hmm. But it's if anything, I want to genuinely show people a better way of life.
Yeah. Well, and the reason you bother having these conversations with people
But it is fun to make fun of stupid people too, though.
Yes, that is also very true. My name's not Letty. It's Courtney. I'm glad we put that in that.
It's not lady. I thought that was. It doesn't make sense. Why was she upset about a video? I just shared a joke video.
I don't know.
She was actually upset about it. I don't know how anybody could be offended by just like fake karate moves.
Yeah, no, the reaction was more funny than the video. Like, I loved reading that. Especially when she, like, tried to rat you out and get, like, her stepdad to come do something about it.
And he never shows up.
Yeah, of course not, because she's just being stupid.
And then, yeah, I think it's, she kept getting upset. I thought I would just refuse to stop calling her lady.
Yeah.
She, I still don't understand. I just don't understand how she ever was bothered by it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Then there was I think with the I have a good functioning brain.
Yeah, you sure do.
I have high functioning
Autism?
I was gonna say retardation, but sure.
Cancel. Stop it. What are you doing? Fucking computer.
What do you think of?
What do I think of what?
What do you think is Phantom Strider's worst take?
His worst take. I mean, a lot of them are kind of the same thing, where he just always has the take that if something is mean-spirited, it's automatically bad. So I guess that as a whole, as a take.
But Big Mouth is good.
Yeah, that's true. He likes that, doesn't he?
Big Mouth is good and South Park is good, except for when South Park. Except when South Park is too. He gets offended by certain episodes of South Park for some reason.
Yeah, because they're too mean-spirited. Like, he doesn't like Scott Tenorman
It's
must
like,
die.
isn't that like the whole point of being a South Park fan?
Yeah.
It's so weird. How can you be a South Park fan and not like mean-spirited things? And I think it's funny. He's like, F is for family. Is mean-spirited. I don't like it, but Big Mouth.
Yeah. Well, and he likes Drawn
doesn't make
Together.
sense to like Big Mouth.
He likes Drawn Together, and I love Drawn Together. I've been rewatching
He likes
it.
what better?
He likes Drawn Together.
Yeah, that's super mean-spirited, so I don't even...
And look, I love Drawn Together, because I've been rewatching it, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. But, like, it is not consistent for Phantom Strider to
a lot
like
of the creators are Jews, and that's why a lot of the people, like, a lot of the creators of Drawn Together are, like, Jews, and that's why they have so many anti-Semitic jokes.
Yeah, because they're making fun of themselves.
It's because they're making fun of themselves. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Drawn Together's funny, and I like that it just gets edgier with each season.
I like it. Literally, the point of the movie is making fun of South Park for having a point.
Yeah. I haven't seen the movie. I've heard that the movie's not very good.
I think that's funny. I mean, I wouldn't say it's much worse than the show, like, as, like, a movie.
Yeah.
There's literally it literally starts with them stomping puppies to death.
Nice.
As a game. Like, that's like a game. Is stomping puppies to death.
Alright, well, is there anything else you want to say, Corbin, before we wrap it up?
Haven't you heard?
What have I heard?
Well, that the bird. Bird is the word, bird. Bird is the word. Haven't you heard about the word bird something? Peter Griffin. Lime in the coconut. Goodbye.
Family Guy funny joke. Haha. Peter fall down stair. All right, you think that's good enough? Should I end it there?
I like all the really weird, crazy, abstract Peter Griffin memes I've been finding.
Yeah, no, they're pretty good. So is that it for the shit show, you think, or did you want to keep going?
That can be it.
All right, cool. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Toodles.